Welcome to Groove's Fast Start Marketing Lab with Matt Serralta and Mike Filsaime. Do you love the music that kicks it off, Mike and Matt?
Yeah, we've got our own groovy baby, royalty-free version.
YouTube won't shut us down today.
Austin Powers intro. How are you, Deb?
Great. I always flash back to my I Dream of Jeannie days watching that as a kid when I hear the music. I'm flashbacked. So we've got a lot of exciting people in here. I'm looking at Mike and Matt's slides right here. It's going to be exciting, the landing page conversion strategies and the notes that you've got here, Mike. So you've got an incredible presentation here. Welcome everyone that's joined us. You may have joined us this morning as well. So this is going to be a back-to-back awesome training with Matt and Mike. And I'm going to hand over the screen so you guys can say hello and kick it off.
All right. Thank you very much, Deb. We appreciate it. So this is our second stint in the studio today. We did a 10 to 12. And then we took a 2-hour break, and I think we're wrapping it up for today. This will easily go from 2 to 4. It's possible that we're going to go from 2 to 5. This is my hero module. This one and next week is the hero module. This is where,
well, that pack to lunch. So
yeah, the pack to lunch. We are going to get deep. So, what I have for you today, folks, I want you to know that if you haven't noticed, some of the things that we're talking about in these sessions, especially this one today, is extremely meta. It's about what you do before you just jump onto a landing page. I'll say it again. I think it's going to be like the third training or the fourth training that I've said this. Companies like Optimized Press and Lead Pages and ClickFunnels and GrooveFunnels and Unbounce, all these companies that let you use a template have hurt you because you think that, oh, this is great. I can just go in and it tells me, make a promise to the customer. But it doesn't have a pre-headline. It doesn't have a sub-headline. Maybe it only has 3 bullets, so you only use 3 bullets. The most important thing that you want to do, we said it yesterday with Leanne, we said it the other day, is take the templates and use them after you've written your copy. Start in a Google Doc. Take the training that we've given you here. Many of you saw John Benson the other day. He's a legend copywriter. Many of you got Copy Pro. What you want to do is you want to know what is the scope of what I'm writing. Am I writing a video sales letter? Am I writing a stage presentation? Am I writing a webinar presentation? Am I doing a video for an opt-in? Is it the video for the thank you page? Is it video for the upsell? Is it video to get people to register for a webinar? Whatever that is, there's going to be a length of that, or it's going to be the copy on the sales page or whatever it is. You want to write all of that stuff down first in a Word document or a Google document. And then you could go in and you could find a template. And then if you have a pre-headline, a headline, a sub-headline, a countdown timer, and you wrote this in the copy, you can drag those elements in. The worst thing that you can do is take any page from any funnel builder in the world and say, I like this template because it's blue. I like this template because it's red. This matches my brand color, and say, okay, that's going to be my landing page, or that's going to be my upsell page, where there are key things that we're going to be putting here, some must-have things on landing pages that you need. And then the next module, and for those of you watching live next week, is going to be the things that you must have on your upsells and your downsells and your cross sells and all those different things. So we're going to first talk today about the what I keep saying, the meta, the before you get started, what you need to understand, as we did, what type of funnel did you want to make, what kind of price points was last week. And once you know that, then you can know who your target audience is, what their pain points are. We're going to get into all of those things today. And then you could write your copy. And then from there, you basically plug that into a template. That is the key thing that I keep going over, is don't let the templates be your guide to copywriting. ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, and now GrooveFunnels have destroyed what used to be you couldn't get online without understanding how copywriting worked. You had to start from something blank. You wrote good copy, and then you put it on ugly pages. Then the new page builders came out, and they flipped it and they gave you great looking pages that won't necessarily convert because you haven't become a copywriter. Or even the lazy things that happen in companies, even ours sometimes. We don't make this mistake too often. We write our copy in Word documents and then give that to our designer to interpret that onto a landing page. All right. So
once in a while, you see some extreme, or you'll see a great web page and it says your sub headline goes here. Right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you see that all the time. It's literally a swipe
file. Don't forget
file,
to
right?
review your page too. Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into the slide. Oh, we have one other thing here. Just going to show you a little test of this. I will be doing this. Mike, I'm going to do that right now because I see you moving some stuff so that you're ready for this. I will be doing this today. I'll be saying, so let me give you a demonstration, and then I'm going to head over here like this. And then we're going to switch to this microphone instead of that microphone. So you're going to notice the audio changes a little bit because we have the lavalier microphone. We got our new carpet. We haven't set that down. We don't have all our sound padding in here yet. You'll be seeing a behind the scenes tour of the studio. But when I draw a little thing like this for you and then tell you that's going to go here, we're going to be able to do this. Let me just clean this so that we have it when I come back. And I'll head back over here.
Nice 3D.
We'll get back into the slide. So that is how we're going to be going today. So ready? Let's jump in. Let's see if our slides are on screen. There we go. Landing page conversion strategies with Mike Filsaime. Mike, give me a close up here.
Oh, same guy.
I look so much better in that picture. Just so much better. All right, let's jump in. All right. So the goal of your landing page is to maximize click-through and conversion rates by appealing to motivation and adding value. So we'll come back onto me here for a minute, and I'll talk to Matt basically about what this means. When we are doing a landing page, we have to understand that we're looking to move people through a process of either seeking pleasure or eliminating pain. That is essentially what it is. Everything in life is either moving somebody towards happiness or getting them away from pain.
From pain, yeah.
We have to know that what their motivation is, and we have to know that our goal is to do that by adding value. So we're going to ask ourselves, before we start our landing page, am I going to be focused on helping them move towards pleasure? And sometimes getting rid of pain moves towards pleasure, right? Or are we focused, like, I'll just give an example. Gout. Somebody has gout with their feet. We're not really looking to move that person towards pleasure. That's a byproduct of removing the pain. I didn't really know much about gout. I just I stumbled across a YouTube video the other day, and I found out that people that suffer from gout was kind of like the disease of kings, they called it, because they ate a lot of meats and proteins and things like that. It causes extreme
painful.
Pain. Yeah, and I bet if we were to go online right now, and hey, you know what, Mike? Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to play around here. I'm going to open up a blank Google screen and remove. Would you say gout? Let's just do remove gout crystals. Let's go onto my screen here. Okay, I'm going to do a Google search. And let's just see. This guy's doing an ad, battling gout. Let's just take a look at his page here. Hopefully no, this is more like a blog. All this cookie registration stuff. This is just, is my gout out? This is actually an example of a bad page.
It could be,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Read our COVID-19 update. Maybe that's something that doesn't need to be on their landing page, that they're paying for ads. Important safety information. All this stuff. This is a very busy page, too much navigation, right? And they paid for that. I actually clicked on a Google ad here to get to that.
Maybe the strategy is to appear as an informational page when in reality it's going to turn into a sales funnel eventually.
So it looks like there's nobody. Let's try get rid of acne. I'm just curious to see if there's some people out there that actually have web pages. Now, most of these things look like Healthline, and usually you could tell a direct marketing site that would have like some type of free report. These are mostly blogs. All right, but we'll go back to the presentation here and keep moving on here. So That is our goal. Now our understanding first. We must understand that when we're creating a landing page, that what we're trying to do is maximize the click-throughs, the lead generation by appealing to motivation, which is usually getting rid of pain or moving towards pleasure. And we do that by providing value. It's a basic statement, but it's a great place to start. As we move on, this slide here says that before we do split testing and testing headlines and things like that, we want to test offers, and then we want to optimize the winners. So that is two different processes. Test the offer, and then then later, this could be months later, optimize the winners. So first thing you want to do is you want to test different pages. After that, you test different hooks and frames. Then you test the funnel, the pricing, the upsells, the offers. After that, that's when you do optimizing. So here I'm gonna jump over to the whiteboard to explain that. All right, so what we see here, first it said first test different pages, okay? So you've written all of your copy, right? You have a headline and all this different type of stuff, and you've written all of your different copy. Now you go into your funnel builder software, GrooveFunnels, right? And what you're seeing are different templates, okay? You're seeing one that's like this, one that's like this, and this particular one here has an image over here with some copy, and the headline is here. This particular one is headline, just a video, some bullet points and things like that. And then this one over here might be a headline, a video over here. Let's make this like a video, and this is a video, and this is just like an image. Okay, and this might have some text over here. This one might, well, the countdown timer you'll probably implement on these different things. This might have like 3 different feature tiles. You say, oh, I might be able to put some of my ideas for my bullet points in here. And then you might have some blocks where you have an image here with copy and then an image here with copy. So if we go to the slide there, Mike, it says, first test different pages. So the thing here is that we want to understand is that the different types of pages can have a dramatic difference. So back on me, Mike. This is just the layout of the page. This type of layout and the colors here that came from a template, because we do want to start from a template. This might be blue, this might be red with yellow buttons, all these different types of things. Changing, if you think that you're going to basically just, I'll take this page and start split testing this headline, this particular format might double this particular format, where an increase in a headline might increase, where this is 100% increase, a better headline might increase by 10%. So that's a key thing that we want to do there. The next thing it says is that we want to then test the hooks and the frames. We're going to dive deep into what is a hook and what is a frame, but basically that's about the positioning that you have. We're going to talk about like why something like butterfly marketing is a hook and the frame is the story of the hook. We're going to deep dive into that. But for instance, the headline, I only choose what headline I'm going to use after I decide what is my hook. Is my hook called, something that we patented, a method in golf? Do we have something that we call the triple rotation swing, right? So what is the triple rotation swing? Exactly. That's my hook. So the hook is, we'll get into it, but it's something that in the next slide talks about curiosity and why you start with a hook, and then the frame is the story of the hook. And then after that, the slides, Mike, we can go back to the slides there. It says, after we test the hooks and the frames, we want to test the funnel, the pricing. What you test in a funnel is the pricing, the upsells, and the offer. So back on to me here. Once I find out which one of these things works well here, well, then at that point, I'm just gonna, just so I have room to go right and left, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Let's just say, for instance, this one was the winner. Well, what we wanna do right now, that's gonna have the maximum value, is we wanna start testing our upsell. Is this thing, this is what's really gonna help us crush it. Is the price point working better at $297 or $197? Having a second upsell, the downsells, and then from there, we want to test maybe things like the how they pay. Is it just one payment of $97, or is it 4 payments of $49.95? Is it nothing today for 14 days and then 2 payments of $97? These are some of the things that you want to get ready to test as well. And then finally, after you've tested all of these different things, and we said the price, but remember the offer, what are they getting? What are you promising them in this upsell video, right? What products are they getting? How can you make this offer better? Remember, fundamentally, an offer at the very, very top is what they're going to get, and let's just put here what they're going to get and how they're going to pay. Now, there's so many things that we could get into about the value, and are we going to drip it? Will it be live? Will it be modules? Kind of like what we did here. This was an offer, and then how you're going to pay. Is it one-time payment? Is it annual payments? Is it recurring? Are there dollar trials? All those different types of things. You want to be testing what they're going to get, how they're going to pay for it, all the way through the funnel. And then after that, folks, the very last thing on the slides then says, once we've tested all of those things, only then do you do on-page optimization. That's when you start testing your headline. That's where you start testing is the text in the call to action button. That's when you start testing the color of your call to action button. That's when you start testing the different, is it an image of you in a suit? Is it me doing, this thing, or is it me in my tuxedo, or is it me holding up my cats? That's where you start testing these things. There's something in copywriting called lipstick on a pig. All right? Some of the biggest mistakes that people make sometimes is they put out, let's say one of those other pages, but let's just say this particular page wasn't the winner, and I'm telling you, first you've got to go out, you've got to test different pages, different offers for the lead magnet. What are the things that are going to make the biggest differences right away? Because we don't know. It's a new market. I'm just going out there. This is what we say, let's throw it against the wall and see what sticks. This is usually in a company meeting. Donna, what's your idea? I think that we should go with a white paper. Great. John, what's your idea? Why don't we give away a free software? Great. Nobody knows. Everything here is subjective. That's going to be different landing pages, different freemiums, different offers. And then once we get that, at that point, as I said, we go and we start optimizing these things. The biggest mistake people make is they just go with one particular funnel. They never test it all the way through. It doesn't work. And they say, well, maybe our headline's not working. If it's a pig of an offer, the only thing we're doing here is we're putting lipstick on a pig, right? It's not going to make any different. It's a copywriting expression, and it kind of gets it going. So if you're taking notes, we're going to head back to the slides. If you're taking notes, you always want to test offers and completely different types of offers, landing pages. You might even test, am I going to try a tripwire funnel? Am I going to try a VSL funnel? Am I going to try maybe a long form sales letter? Will this work better with a product launch, video 1, video 2, video 3, or a webinar, an automated webinar? You have to use a hunch based on what we went over in the previous module. I'll get back to the desk here. We'll switch mics. But you have to be willing to put some time into those different type. And by the way, when you test these different things, you're not necessarily looking for a winner. You're trying to just get rid of the losers. Right away from the beginning. Let's just say let me just try this landing page. Even if the offer doesn't work, which one just completely failed, right? Which one would just, the world has just told you they just completely don't respond to that landing page design, that freemium, absolutely nothing happened. Okay, great. We tried a few different things, and now that we kind of get what they really liked was the registration for a webinar. That seemed to be the one. Or that didn't work. What really worked was the opt-in with a lead magnet with a free report that led to a video sales letter. And once you have that, you can start optimizing. Any comments there, Matt?
Yeah, I think one of the great way to find a loser really quickly is to look at your bounce rate, right? The bounce rate is how many people come in and bounce out so fast, right? So if your bounce rate is really high, you can assume it's not a problem with copy, it's not a problem with pricing. You know, it's just it's a good time to maybe find a page that's just failing altogether.
Yeah. So our advertising agency, what they did is exactly what we're talking about. They said, hey, you guys have an offer. Can we try a new offer? And we have no pride when it comes to testing. So instead of just saying, let me change your headline and let me change your button color, which is what we're currently optimizing because we found this to be the best way to do it, they said to us, we're going to redesign your entire front end. And I have to tell you,
we were looking forward to it.
Subjectively speaking, when I looked at it, I said to myself, that is so different. Yeah, that looks like a SaaS company website. It looks like something that would come out of Silicon Valley. It was clean. It had a headline promise, a lot less copy than ours, and it had different brand colors actually, which I wasn't a fan of. It was more like I think it was like greenish and blue, and we went in saying, hey, we don't know everything. That's why we test, and we tested it, and it completely flopped. Yeah. Which made us feel better. Okay, we're marketers. We know what we're doing, even though we have an ad agency that we work with that also does creatives for their people.
That is a really good ad agency.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
And ours crushed. Now, the point that I'm making here, folks, this is the point that I'm making. What if that was the ad that we started, the landing page that we started with? It would have been foolish to start optimizing that page instead of saying, let's try a completely different approach, a completely different design, have this designer do it with the same instructions and have this designer, and they come back to you with two completely different works of art. And then you'll see, let's go out and we test and we see what does better. So
and don't be afraid to test and fail, right? This is a process of elimination.
Yeah, we're looking to get rid of the dogs first, right? Let's just get rid of all the crap that doesn't work. Absolutely. And now we have three different things. The next thing that you want to do when you're doing this is try to invoke a little bit of reverse human psychology. This is called, a hypothesis. Why do we hypothesize that this page worked better? Well, it's because you're holding a picture of your cat there, and we thought the one where you were in your tuxedo smiling would win, but it turns out people relate more to you as a regular person than they do all stuck up in your tuxedo. So these are things that you don't know until you test, and then you can hypothesize.
Even though you might like your tuxedo picture better, right? Maybe it's different to the masses.
And by the way, you want to archive these things that you learn so that you can later use them in discussions. When you're creating new funnels, you can say to people, hey, why don't we do this? Well, hey, we tested that. It's probably going to be better if we do a more natural t-shirt type of picture. At least we'll start with that as control. All right, on to the slides back again. All right, next page here. All right, this is sort of a little bit of a recap of what we went over the other day, but there's some new stuff here. The other day we said, what is the goal that we're trying to achieve? We were saying, are we looking to build a list? Are we looking to do windfall capital? But that was last week. And last week was to decide what kind of funnel are we using. Now that we know what kind of funnel we're using, 90% of the time, your funnel is going to start with a lead capture page. 90% of the time. You may sometimes send them directly to a website. We spoke about that last week with John, but you still want to have places on that page with exit pops or call to actions later on the page to get a free report where they can still opt in. Okay, but here, the goal of the landing page, after you capture the lead, what are we looking to do? Send them directly onto the next page to to a tripwire to
what's a tripwire?
A tripwire is it's basically like in war. When you walked into the room, remember in the movie 1917?
Yeah.
Literally, there was a tripwire. It's something that is so easy to trip on. It's just easy for the customer to buy. It's great value at a low price. And the tripwire is a great way to get a customer by saying, hey, I'm going to give you this $497 course that we did, but only for the next limited time. And we're going to be doing that today for just $19. And people are like, well, that's, it's a crazy
exclusive offer.
Yeah, we just that's to get their credit card. Now that we have the credit card, we can focus on commitment and consistency, which means that people tend to stay consistent with their initial commitment. If somebody just gave you their credit card, even for a $7 tripwire, like Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher had 57 split tests. It's like our company spent $4 million split testing. These are the 57 tests that had the biggest impact in our company. We're going to give you this split test report and tell you why the control beat the test, and then we're going to and it's for $7, right? What marketer is not going to say, digital marketer, one of the best companies around, I need to get that. So you get the credit card, and now that tripwire funnel is based on upsell, downsell, upsell, then later automatically register them for a webinar for a $19.97 product. It's a way to get buyers.
It's a fair way also to say, now you know a little bit more about your buyer, right?
Yeah.
He's into online marketing. Is somebody willing to spend money to grow his business? He's a business owner, right?
Exactly. It's a highly qualified customer. It's a guy.
Absolutely.
It's a person with a credit card, which is a lot different than somebody with an email.
Than a visitor.
Yeah. Right? So, like we went over last week, a tripwire funnel doesn't end with the $7. It is reliant upon a 97 and 297 upsell, automatically registering for a webinar and things like that. All right. After we captured the lead, we said, are we sending them directly to a sales funnel like a tripwire funnel, or directly to the video sales letter? Or did we register them for a webinar? Is this what we call a nurture and indoctrination campaign, where we know that what we're selling isn't made impulsive, right? I might have an analytics product, and I need to teach you that knowing the numbers of your business is key. Very likely, I may not want to go directly to a sales
analytics
I might
software.
really want my landing page to focus on the value of my free report. And then once the free report, which is 27 case studies on how people use analytics to double or triple their revenue. After somebody reads that report, that's called a nurturing and indoctrination campaign. Then all throughout the report, we're saying at the bottom of every page, to learn how they did that, click here. To learn how they did that, click here. Then you follow up with another video that eventually gets them into any type of what we spoke about last week, rich media campaign, which would either be a live or automated webinar, or a 40-minute or 20-minute VSL with a product demo, or call us have a salesperson do a live demo for you, etc. That's also considered a slow burn education. Everything that we just spoke about, it's a slow burn. You have to educate the customer to the sale. If you were to go to salesforce.com, you cannot buy Salesforce at the website.
Absolutely.
It is impossible.
You have to go through an agency.
So Mike, why don't we pull up my laptop here? We're going to go to salesforce.com, and I'm going to show you that there's nothing here that doesn't go to the same disgusting form. It's so surprising that this company doesn't have good web forms. We as marketers can help them so much, and they do $21 billion a year. So if I click try for free, this sends me to this start your free trial. There is not a call to action that I can do here. Watch demos. Nope. Can't see a demo without giving my name and email address and everything. If we go here and we look at products and I click on sales, I get a little bit more money. Try for free, the very same pay. Every call to action in this company leads, learn more. Okay, cool. I'm learning a little bit more. Watch the video. Actually give us a video here. But in order to get Salesforce, the only way you can do it is you have to fill out one of those forms. Somebody gets on the phone with you, and they have two different people. They have a demo specialist that's there to ask you some qualifying questions. What are you looking to do in your business? Are you looking to capture leads, sell a service, consulting, whatever? And once they do that, they show you how the software works for them. And then they have another person on there that is a salesperson, finds out who's the decision maker and how do we close a deal, right? So back to the slides there. That's the third to bottom bullet there. Says that's a slow burn education funnel. There's product launch funnels and, of course, high ticket sales funnels. So next slide. There's something in marketing called the target market to the target message match. So different landing pages, or it should be different landing pages are needed for different markets. You need different hooks, which we're going to get to. You need different frames, and you need different positioning. Mike, can you give me an example? Yes, investing. If we have a company and we're Travelers Insurance, or Travelers whatever, and we're looking to do a campaign to get people to invest money, we have to know, are we targeting, see the top, target market. Are we targeting a college student? Are we targeting a young couple? Are we targeting somebody that's 10 years to retirement? Or are we targeting a retired couple? Once we know that we have a target market, then our landing page will be a target message match. Now, what that simply means is you can start broad at the beginning. Like I just said, you can test different offers and things like that, find out which page is better. But then you really want to start designing new landing pages. When I say design a new landing page, I literally mean clone it, change the headline for something that would be good for a college student, and change the picture to a college student, and make sure all the bullets talk about start now, get wealthy over the years, compounded interest, and all those different things. If I'm doing something for somebody that's 10 years to retirement, I'm going to start going into time is running out. It's not too late. You show a picture of them, maybe putting their kids through school, and then having put a camera on me here, Mike, and, kind of like, Mike, a camera on me, if you can. You kind of, show them, doing the bills, looking very concerned, looking at the spouse, kind of like with little bills that say, college tuition, all those different things. And
you're about to go under.
Yeah. And the retired couple, right? This is about, hey, it's still okay to be able to invest. Maybe there's things like, what do they call it? The reverse mortgage that you could find out about. So I think that's the best type of example that I could tell you, is that sometimes you're going to find out that the different markets, even though you have the same product, you can reach different markets with the same product, right?
Right, and I think we even see that on TV, right? If you see an ad in the middle of Judge Judy, which is typically on 3 p.m. on a Idle Wednesday, the ad is going to be completely different for the same company, where they're going to target more people that sit at home, attorney type ad. And even within the same ad, if you shoot it at 8 p.m. on, like mypillow.com is always in the middle of 8 o'clock p.m. TV, and they appeal to younger people. And so even on TV, the ads are often adapted to the audience, which is defined by the time of the show.
100%
happens.
Like I listen to conservative radio, and conservatives tend to be more entrepreneurial, own more businesses, tend to, right? So you're going to find more business related, like what is that? Grasshopper.
Yes,
what's
absolutely.
What's the accounting software?
ShipStation, FreshBooks.
Right? Yeah. And you'll also hear, do you have problems with the IRS? Right, but small business owners tend to get more in trouble with the IRS because a typical employee has their taxes taken out. So target market to the target message match. All right, moving on. All right, the hook, the frame, the positioning, and the offer. So remember, we're not talking about our landing page yet. Our landing page template, we're going to look at different landing page designs, and we're going to put the same exact copy in all 4, 5, 6 of those different landing pages, and just just for giggles, let's find out which one. Wow, it's just crazy. The one with the hero video and the yellow headline just seemed to work better. Great. Now we can start optimizing that page. But before we do that,
so first, like you said, choose a page, right?
Yeah. And so before we choose our page, before we do that, we open up that Word document and that Google document, and we now say, okay, who's our target market, right? And now that we've decided we're doing the elderly or the college student, now that we have that, now we go to the hook, the frame, the positioning, and the offer. Once you have that skeletal frame of the hook, the frame, the positioning, and the offer, then you can start writing your sales copy. So you don't just, the worst thing that you want to do is just start with a headline. Just let me just come up with a headline. Okay, let me write the copy based on the headline. No, you didn't first say who is the target market. Now, what is the hook? The frame is the story of the hook. How do I position this? And what is the offer that I'm making? So the first thing is you need to know your prospect, right? So whether it was a college student, right? Let's juxtapose a college student compared to somebody that's 10 years from retiring. What is their pain point, right? What problem are they trying to solve? What solutions are they looking for? And are they jaded from other solutions? Now, I'm going to talk about the college student here. I would tend to think this is the most difficult one. This usually comes from the referral. The parents have to talk them into it, right? When it comes to investing, they don't have a pain point, right? What's their pain point? They don't have one. I'm
just don't have a lot of money.
Hey, what are you doing smoking? Don't worry, I have plenty of time to quit, right? Invincible mentality. They're never going to die. Right now I want to go out and I want to buy myself a sports car or a new truck, and they're not investing. So they may not necessarily have a pain point. We're going to talk about that in the next slides coming up about blind offers and on the nose offers. But the person that has no money in the bank and is 48 years old or 52 years old, and they start thinking, oh my God, I remember when they used to talk about retirement was 65, and then sometimes you can retire.
I wish I had put that $100 a week. They told me that.
Yeah, and I've got nothing in the bank, and my daughter is going to college in 2 years, right? That person has a pain point. We know what problem they're trying to solve. They want to save because they want to retire in 12 years, and they don't want to work until they're 90 years old, and they want to be able to put their kids through college. What options do I have? Right? They're completely blind to knowing what options they have. What solutions are they looking for? Are they jaded from other solutions? Let's switch the niche here. Are they jaded from other solutions? Generally, you'll see that in health and wellness, right? I've tried so many diets. I've seen so many promises. I've been promised so many things, and I always fall for it, and it never works for me, right? So we have to know what is our market, what is their pain point, what are they trying to solve. So let's talk about that person. What's the pain point? I've tried every diet. It doesn't seem to work for me. They told me about raw food vegan. They told me about keto. They told me about Atkins. They told me all of these, the Weight Watchers, the Zone Diet. I've tried all those things. It doesn't work for me.
What is your headline? Have you tried everything?
Oh, we could probably do that. Go through all the different headline formulas. We have a page coming up for that. 19 different headlines that you can use with examples we're going to be going over. And then you could use that template to find out, once you say, okay, we know what their pain point is. What are they trying to solve? A diet that works for me. What solutions are they looking for? Now, you can bifurcate this if we're talking about this customer. Are they looking for eat right, don't really feel like moving? Or, the stuff that doesn't work for me, I'm just going to be 100% honest. At my age, I'm going to be 54 this year. I'm 50. I just turned 53. Let's keep it that way. And then you see that guy with the shirt off, busting in front of you on YouTube with the abs. And he's like, do you want to get shredded? Do you want our lean formula? Our high intensity workout is going to show. I'm just like, no.
I don't want that.
I'm more into watching the calories and doing a daily walk, right? So nothing wrong with that. That person better know that they're attacking an 80% male type of market, right? Because he's the guy with the abs, and he's basically saying, do you want six-pack abs? Do you want guns? Like, you got to know your market. Okay, next, moving on. Once you know your prospect, remember, we're starting to write our copy. We still have a blank piece of paper. We've written down the market. We've written down our prospects' pain point, what they're looking to solve, what solutions they're looking for, and are they jaded? At that point, now we can start to brainstorm the hooks. The hook is your funny name method. So butterfly marketing is a hook, right? In golf, there was something John Carlton used to talk about. It was something like, I said it before at the whiteboard, but it was something like the triple coil method that helps you drive farther, straighter, and more consistent. That is simply a hook. That is a hook. What is the triple coil method? It has to do, and I'm making this up because I don't know, by coiling your arm, coiling your wrist or whatever. This would be a terrible way to golf, but you kind of get what I'm saying. And now we're basically saying the kinetic energy of the coil with this method and the extra bonus helps you hit it further. Oh, as you always want to say this from the movie Django Unchained, when the German guy was talking to Leonardo DiCaprio, and Leonardo DiCaprio goes, "You had my attention. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention." That is the point. So I'll say that again. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. The hook is to get their curiosity. That's the point. What in the world is butterfly marketing? What is guerrilla marketing? What is the blah, blah, blah method, right? We hear all of these things all the time that should invoke curiosity. And this is something that comes unique to your story, right? What is it? BNI, Business Network International. Like, they have something that every other networking company has tried to take from them, but it's just this beautiful name. It's called forgive me if I get it wrong, but I think it's something like the Giver's Gain. Let me do a quick little Google search on that. BNI Giver's Gain, right? And that's their story. Their story is that it's literally their hook. If you just type in, you can humor me, everybody. Type into Google BNI Giver's Gain. The first thing that comes up, suggested by Google. Show my screen here, Mike, if you can. Let's do that. You see, I just typed in BNIG. It's suggesting Giver's Gain, and look what it says here: Giver's Gain, the BNI story. Remember, I said the hook is Giver's Gain. The frame is the story of the hook, and you literally see that. Here's a perfect example here. The BNI story. What is the story? And now you can tell the story. Hey, when I was a person, I was going up, I was handing out my business card. I was always trying to get in front of people saying, I can do this for you. And what I've realized, that the secret to success in networking and in business is what's known as the Giver's Gain mentality. When I meet somebody, I listen to them and I say, is there anything that I could do for you? Is there any way I can help? And by giving, I gain more, and it's blah, 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 blah. That's the hook, the Giver's Gain. Right? So back to the slides there. My hook for butterfly marketing was literally butterfly marketing, which was based on the butterfly effect, chaos theory. That basically in chaos theory, they say that tiny, seemingly insignificant changes in initial conditions can have a dramatic effect over time. You've ever seen those random patterns where they basically set something to go up and start plotting, but they change the decimal point, and then at the beginning they're both going identical, and then after 30 seconds this one starts going like, and the next thing you know, in just 10 minutes
to do one with
completely
the other,
different patterns. So they then took that chaos theory and they gave it an example, and they call that the butterfly effect, which basically means that the butterfly is literally creating this tiny little change in the atmosphere by flapping its wings that's actually changing the weather. That in 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever it is, it's putting such a seemingly insignificant change into the atmosphere that one day what would have been a tsunami, they say, that wipes out the Indonesian coastline would instead be a sunny day, or vice versa. So,
I mean, we live through that every day, right? Being delayed to go somewhere 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, great movie Great movie if you haven't seen it, with Gwyneth Paltrow, called Sliding Doors. They literally split the screen, and you're watching two separate movies on the left side of your screen and the right side of your screen. It starts identical, and at one point she makes it onto the subway, and in the second one she misses the subway, and her life diverges.
Absolutely.
Right. So
you can meet somebody, who knows, on the next train, right?
So that's the hook. Now I'm getting you to buy into the hook, and now I create the story of the hook. So I started realizing that there are these tiny little things that I could do into my business. Bob, I've got you hooked. I've got you hooked. Now I want to hear the story of the hook. That's the frame. All right. So I hope you guys are loving this. We're going to get
I think
deep into this meta stuff some more. So underneath at the bottom there, the last bold title there says, "What is your frame?" After you've come up with the hook, the frame, that is the story of your hook. That will have you saying things like, "Let me tell you a story," or "Imagine this," or "Let me put it to you this way. Imagine this. Let me tell you a little story." Use these words on your webinars. Use these in your written copy. Use them in your videos, your video sales letters, all the time. So
I want to tell you guys a quick story. The very, very first day I met Mike in person in Delray Beach.
Yes.
He I don't know, we sat at a bar and we had a couple Sprite, I think, and he told me, "Matt, everything is about framing," right? And you took
you remember that?
Oh my God, I remember that was the day I'm like, wow.
I don't doubt that I said that, but that is something I talk about all the time.
He pulled out a chair and he moved it towards the middle of the room, and he said, "You see that chair? That's how much is it worth to you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's $30 chair, right?" And Mike said, "Well, what if that same chair wasn't there a red carpet underneath it? How much would it be worth to you?" And then he kept going. "Well, what if you had the initial of JFK on it, right? And what if there was a gold chain around it? What if there were a guard guarding the chair, right?" So I made a 20-minute story where I was just like, into 30 seconds here, but the framing can be everything.
Yeah,
itself,
you're gonna have me
right.
You're gonna have me go off on a tangent here. So Matt brings up a great point. So what is a frame? In the real world, the frame is what you put around a painting. Right? The frame actually can tell you the importance. So let's first go through examples of the frame, and then I'm going to give you places where they frame things the best. Yeah. So the idea of a frame, and yeah, I'll give the examples because I remember the examples.
I like it.
So the example of a frame is if I have a piece of paper or a painting and it's rolled up and it has a piece of tape on it and it says 99 cents. What do we think that poster is worth?
99 cents.
99 cents.
Determine the value. Yeah.
Is it possible that I framed it that way because I stole it from a museum and I don't want anybody to think it has any value? So I took it out of the frame and I put it, I wouldn't roll it up, but whatever the case is, but by framing it that way, it's worth 99 cents. If I put it into a 5 and dime shop, it's worth 99 cents. Now, if we take that same painting and then we put it around an impressive frame, and then I put it behind bulletproof glass, and then I have you go to the Louvre in Paris, and people stand online, and you can't get close to it.
And you have a guard.
We now basically automatically know that thing is quote unquote priceless because it's in the centerpiece of the museum. So let me remember I told you that the frame is the story. It's the story of the hook. I'll give you an example of what of the Mona Lisa. I don't know if you've ever heard me tell this story, Matt. Have you ever heard the story of why the Mona Lisa is the Mona Lisa?
No, I don't.
Okay, so folks, forgive me. This could be 1860 or 1910. I believe it's somewhere between 1890 and 1910. So late 19th century, early 20th century. The Mona Lisa, just one of many awesome, incredible paintings from Leonardo da Vinci. But why the Mona Lisa? Why did that one of all paintings become the special one? I'll tell you why. There was never a photograph of it before. and it was being moved from one museum to another. It was whatever they call that, being borrowed, on consignment, whatever, from one museum to another on loan. And while they were moving it and setting it up, the Mona Lisa got stolen. And when the Mona Lisa got stolen, it was Da Vinci painting has been stolen. And the only thing they knew about the Mona Lisa is that it had a smile that you have to see to understand. Mm-hmm. So every single writer tried to talk about the smile that wasn't a smile. It didn't show copywriting to its finest. It didn't show the teeth, only the slight thing that would happen under happiness or hidden sadness, all this different type of stuff. Everybody wanted to know what in the world this painting looked like. Several months later, breaking news, man arrested for stealing the Mona Lisa. It is now found and on display at the Louvre in Paris or wherever the heck they put it back at that time. And people came from miles. They traveled on ships. They came from all over the world to see this thing in person so that they could understand the smile. That was it. That's the Mona Lisa. Before that, it was yet another very, very incredible painting by Leonardo da Vinci. But why do we now say, oh, that's his Mona Lisa? It's because there's a story behind it. So a couple of other little things here, because I want to really get you to understand that framing something is what adds value. In nobody does this better than the TV show Antiques Roadshow, right? So I think this is maybe the example that I gave you. So, all right. And that is the glass lamp that was worth $200. What do we have next? Coming up next, we have somebody that says, and they roll it in, and they go like this, and they say, so tell us a little bit about this. Well, this desk belonged to my grandfather. I forget what he used to say, but he used to tell some story to my parents about JFK, but I don't really remember too much about it. Okay, well, what do you think it's worth? Well, you could get $500, $1,000 for it. That'd be great. We could use that as a down payment on a car. Well, here's the thing, Diane. We had our people look at this. What if I was to tell you that after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, they were moving very, very quickly to get Lyndon Johnson into the White House and change the White House and move things from Camp David, that this particular desk was John F. Kennedy's desk that he used in Camp David, and it went missing. And you say that he gave this as a gift to somebody there, gave it as a gift to your parent because he used to work for that. That's correct. Well, what if I were to tell you that this desk is worth over $150,000? You see the people, oh my God, what did we just do? We told the story of something that is made of wood that has, intrinsic value, but then it also has the value that we tell people what it is by creating a story. And we have the hook, we have the frame, we tell the story. We could use these words and we can tell stories. Matt, before you said, I want to tell everybody a story, right? If you notice, I leaned in like this. If I say on camera and I do a little bit of a pause and I say, let me tell you a story. Immediately, if you're working, you just lean in and everybody leans in. We are hardwired for stories.
That's how Mike got me.
Yeah.
It works.
Only the last 150 years have we had electricity, where we had radio and television, and we could archive things now on the internet that we can have forever. But before that, before Gutenberg, before the book and everything like that, if you basically everything, you look at like Native Americans camp story, telling stories, your great grandfather and stuff like that. What we used to do is we used to pass things on through generation by telling stories at night, war stories, battle stories, how we met your mother, how you were born, all these different types of things. So we are hardwired to listen to stories, the hero's journeys. That's why we love these story arcs in television and the Iliad and Homer's Odyssey and all these different things. we're fascinated by stories. So this is going to go on here as we continue through these slides.
Well, thank you for taking me down memory lane.
You got it. All right. So our next slide here, as you can see there, that says Dean Jackson at the bottom of that image. It says more cheese, less whiskers, the irresistible power of compelling offers. So let's talk about what that is. So on the left there, you see blind offers versus on the nose. Blind offers are more cheese and less whiskers. If you want to know more about this, excuse me. Sorry, while I'm talking, you can Google Dean Jackson Joe Polish podcast and look up the episode Cheese versus Whiskers. So let me explain what that is. Okay. We have to understand that your customers are they're so jaded about being sold that the metaphor that Dean Jackson used in Cheese and Whiskers, and it's not even a metaphor, this happens to be true, is that a mouse will spend days going through a wall and little one piece at a time, biting on the wood if it smells cheese on the other side of the wall. And if it hasn't eaten in days, it'll keep trying to get to that cheese, and it'll slowly work its way to the cheese. If that mouse so much as smells a cat, that's the whisker, so much as smells a cat, the mouse will hide and burrow, and it'll die of starvation rather than going for the cheese. So we have to look at our marketing, and we have to realize that, hey, this is a friendly little cat. It's not going to do any harm to anybody. The mouse doesn't know that. It smells it. So we have to focus on the cheese and look at what things are we doing on our page by using either technical jargon, using things like EPC, or a great example of less whiskers and more cheese, probably the best example I can do, not that I'm a fan of this company in any way, but I certainly have nothing against it, would be Amway. Amway is the typical expert at using cheese marketing and less whiskers. So everybody is scared. Remember back then, oh, that's a pyramid scheme, right? And they had no, it's called network marketing. It's multi-level marketing, right? You're trying to talk to somebody about network marketing. I've tried it. You've got a whiskers problem. As soon as you say network marketing, multi-level marketing, become a distributor, all of these things, all those different things, you are coming at this person with your whiskers and your scent of a cat. They're not interested in the cheese. Now, I'm not an advocate for multi-level marketing. I have nothing against it. I do like digital marketing and e-commerce marketing better. However, you're not going to be able to get to me if you come to me with the smell of a cat around you, and I'm a mouse, and I like cheese. Cheese is the money. It's a better life. And you come to me and you say,
I got cheese, but not a cat.
Hey, Mike, I'm part of this new network marketing company, ground floor opportunity. Get away from me. I don't want to hear. You're coming at me with the scent of a cat. Some of the words that we use can really shock somebody, and they turn off before we even get a chance to talk to them about the cheese. So more cheese, less whiskers. So what does that mean? Well, how did you get invited to an Amway? I got invited to an Amway. This is what happened.
I think everybody did like several times, right?
I was in the car business. Yeah. Oh man, did he get me? And they did a good presentation. They opened up my mind. They gave me lots of cheese. At the end, there was still a whisker, and I ran away. But so I'm there trying to sell somebody a car. This knucklehead made me drive him around for a car and everything like that. I had no intention of buying a car. When it was all said and done, he says to me, you know, you're a really good people person, not salesman. You're a really good people person. You know, you could use your skills to make a lot. I'm probably 23 at this time, 22, 23, to make a lot of extra money on the side, probably even more than you're making right now. And you'd only have to work part-time. You could still even keep this job. So if you're interested, just call this number. What do? I'm young, impressionable, making $23,000 a year. Of course I'm going to call. He catered to my ego. You have been invited to a specials, blah, blah, blah. on October 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Smithtown Sheridan. Other people just like you are going to be there. There's no
automatic recording. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. So what do? I show up there, and there's a man doing a presentation. He says, I want to talk to you. This is all cheese. This is all cheese, no whiskers. He didn't have the first slide that says how to become an Amway distributor. I would have, let me get out of this room. This is freaking Amway pitch, right? All cheese. So what they did is they went through, there's something called a distributor marketing, and it allows you to do blah, 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 blah. And at the very, very end, who here would be interested in this? And I raised my hand. What if I told you to get started for $497? Would that scare anybody? No? A couple of you? Okay, that's great. Well, I want to let you know that the product that we just spoke to you about is the Amway business. You saw the whole room go, oh, interesting. But I wasn't as scared anymore. I was more likely to consider it than if the guy would have just said,
Amway, let me tell you.
Hey, I'm with Amway. Oh, no, that's okay. I'm not interested in doing Amway or multi-level marketing and network marketing. So what I want you to consider, now that we understand what cheese and whiskers is, I'll give you another example of something that I did back in the day. I had two products. One for people when I was dealing with a marketer that had an entire list of people that were interested in local marketing. They had customers, and I had a new software. That URL was called the Local Marketing Business System because I wanted to appeal to people that were interested in local marketing. Now, if I had digital marketers and I had Local Marketing Business System, the name of that product was all whiskers. It was smelly cat, and you want to be a digital marketer. And I have a product now called Local Marketing Business System. You don't fully understand what's going on. The name of my product or my headline or some of the things that I'm talking about may scare you before you fully understand the offer. Think the Amway. You need to understand the concept before you're prejudiced to it. So I changed the name of the product for the digital marketers, whole new URL, and I completely changed the offer and the positioning. And that was called the Little Fish Blueprint. And that was called a hook, the Little Fish Blueprint. What was the frame? Well, the story. I would rather be a little fish in a big pond, all these different types of things. And I'm going to show you how you can be underground. And what did I have to do? I had to establish myths. What are some of the myths that people think when I say, Matt, do you want to get into local marketing? Oh, I don't want to.
I'm going to spend a ton of money already.
Yeah, I don't want to go knock on doors at muffler shops and try to convince people at a nail salon, right? We have preconceived notions. So if you think that your market has preconceived notions, as you see there, it says blind offers are good for a saturated market, a market that has preconceived notions. What you need to use in your marketing is curiosity, intrigue, and you reveal the solution after you get complete buy-in of the concept. All right. I'll say that again. You reveal the solution after you get complete buy-in of the concept. The other thing is called being on the nose. Okay, that's a term in just a term they use it in Hollywood. It means the opposite of being implicit or being blind. On the nose means being explicit. So you want your offers to be on the nose. They're good for new and exciting products. The new iPhone, right, is new and exciting. I don't have to, do anything blind. It's just show up. I can tell you all about it. New thing being announced next week, right? Services, offers, and specials, right? If you're doing a special for an established product and everybody knows about it, you just go right on the nose, direct to the point. Instant focus on value, scarcity, and time, and you attack the problem and you offer a solution instantly. Instantly, we get right to it. You can come up with a hook and just jump right into it. So I think that kind of makes sense. You have to kind of know when you're writing your copy, am I dealing with a jaded market? Do I need to go more cheese? Get them to buy into the concept first. I would say this might have to work sometimes if you're going after a newbie market with Facebook advertising. You may not want to call your product, the Facebook, the Facebook attack method, right? Why? Or Facebook ad attack method. 50% of the folks on this, watching this right now would go, I'm just not ready to spend money on advertising. So what I might have to do is come up with a hook, right? And we call it the reverse boomerang method. I'm just making something up because that might tie into what you do. And then what you do is you say, so what if I was able to show you how you could actually get paid before you spend money on the ad, right? All those types of things, right?
Get paid to run some
I have
ads,
to know who is the target market. When we do a webinar, two things I do. I ask the people that we're doing a webinar with, what is the sophistication of your market? So, they're e-commerce. Ooh, wow. I got to focus my Groove Pages presentation more on e-commerce, right? Target message, target match, know their pain, know their sophistication, all of these things, folks. I hope you're getting a lot out of this because this is what helps you write your ad and your landing page. All right, so moving on. On the right side here, we have to remember that everybody's favorite radio station is WIIFM or WIFM. What's in it for me, right? That's everybody. We always say that. Everybody's favorite radio station, WIFM. What's in it for me? Okay, so one of the big mistakes that we spoke about at our summit that we had here in January, we flew the team in and we had other people be virtual and we spoke about the changes in the branding coming for this year. And we realized that at the front of groovefunnels.com, we're not focusing on what's in it for me from the perspective of the user. We're out there walking really cool, in a plaza. I think it says something like, hi, I'm Mike Filsaime, and I have a question for you. Why is it that in the last 45 days, over 45,000 people made the switch to GrooveFunnels? We're about to tell you why. And not only that, and this, and we got this many users, and we're number one, and we were all about us. There's a little message in there about not only that, you can build your pages for free, but what we really need to focus on in our next video is going to be 100% what's in it for you. What is the problem that you have and the solution that you have, duct taping all of these different solutions together. So before we're just about getting ready to write pen to paper, start writing our message. But we want to know from the customer's point of view that we're going to write a message that must be clear, concise, and easy to understand. For the prospect, you have to ask these questions. From their point of view, when they come to your page, what's in it for me? Why should I care? What do you have for me? What will it do it for me? And what will I do next? And these are the types of things now that we could start saying, okay, I can start getting pen to paper. Moving on here. Headlines. Okay. One of the important things we need to focus on would be headlines. Now, we're going to go to the headlines in just a minute, but what I want to show you that's coming up next is to achieve higher conversions, some of these different things that we're going to go through on the webpage and then go to Q&A. So we're going to talk about this, but we are going to spend about a good 45 minutes right now going over some headlines. So you could go to groovefunnels.com/headlines. Just put that there and then come back to the screen. And we're actually going to go over some different headline formulas right now. And Matt, what was it before you had said? What would we do? Maybe it was for people losing weight.
We were talking about the pain and people that listen to the same ad all the time. Have you tried every other diet pill? Yeah. Have you tried, something similar to that, like address a pain point right off the bat, and that way you kind of throw it out the window. Yeah.
So Mike, I think what we're going to do now is we're actually going to share my screen, and that's going to allow me to go over these headlines here. So I'm ready when you are. Yep. Okay. Going to put on my old man glasses here. And let's see. Let's get rid of this, make the page a little bit wider. Yeah, this will do. Okay. So let's see if I zoom this in. Does that make it any wider for Google Doc? No, it does. Oh, it does. Okay, great. All right. 19 proven headline formulas that will increase conversions on your landing pages and ads. So what you want to do is you want to go to groovefunnels.com/headlines and bookmark this page. And anytime that you're looking to do headlines, I believe that you'll be able to find the headline that you want right out of here. All right. So first, it says here, it's important to substantiate your claims. Okay. And basically, Alex Mondosian, one of my dear best friends in the entire world, absolutely love and adore that guy. I look up to him, and boy, do I, when I first met him, like he was a marketing god. He used to do the big seminar with Armin Morin. And when I first met him, we were talking, and I remember him just saying to me, "That's good, Michael. You know what? Nothing sells better than the truth." And that has always stuck with me. Every single time I have a headline, and I know that if we have 374,682 members in GrooveFunnels, I can't put 375. I can't put 400,000. I have to put the words almost or approaching or something like that. And just always remember that. Anything that you're doing, just remember nothing sells better than the truth. Put the truth down. It'll be more authentic. It'll serve you better. Next. You want to be as specific as possible with your wording so that they can get a clear and vivid picture in their mind of what you're saying. Don't be vague and abstract. Use tangible, specific, and concrete words. For example, instead of saying weight, say 1 pound of fat. This is really dressing up your words. Sometimes you have to do a second pass on your copy and say, how can I use a more concrete word here than saying weight? I can say a pound of fat. For example, always focus. We talk about this a lot. We call this the promised land. Always focus on the result or benefit that your customer is seeking and not the features. We've been talking about this over and over and over. We say feature, advantage, benefit, then the benefit of the benefit. If you haven't heard us talk about that, check the previous module that we did, my session last time, or the one with Leanne, part 2 of Leanne. Also focus on how they can avoid pain and get more pleasure. We spoke about that before. Next, use high emotion value words and phrases. There's a big difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill, although it's the same paper, right? So there's a big difference between saying car and Ferrari, or house, mansion, lose weight, or shed belly fat, or fat ass. Those words are highly emotionally charged. Next, use specific numbers in your headlines is always a great thing to do. Things like we said 374,632 is better than 400,000. Specific just will always work better for you. Use power words like free, discover, imagine, secret, weird, hack,
reveal.
Yeah. In fact, Google power words for copywriting. Top 100 power words for copywriting. You're gonna find that out. Also, Alex Mondosian said that what tests better always are adverbs over adjectives. Adverbs will work better than adjectives. In fact, he had said something like the Gettysburg Address had something like 73 adverbs and only 3 adjectives, and that's why it's one of the most powerful speeches. Always test your headlines. Once you get to page optimization, you want to start with the headlines. All right. So we have 19 of these to go through. So we're going to try to spend no more than 2 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes on each of these. Good luck. But we want to leave about 15 minutes to work on the last 3 slides. So I could probably tell you folks, we're going to be going for another hour and 15 minutes. All right. It looks like we're in for a 2 hour and 30-minute session. All right. Formula number 1. This is my go-to formula. The incredibly good without the incredibly bad. This is where you juxtapose 2 very different and sometimes conflicting and incongruent ideas. For example, how to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or as we just saw before, how to shed 30 pounds in 30 days, or how to shed 30 pounds in 29 days, right? Without exercising by taking this pill, right? People want the result, but they don't want to work hard for it, right? So better off would be how to lose 30 pounds in 29 days without any additional exercise and without giving up any of the foods that you love. That's a really good solution without a really bad solution. What this does is it defies conventional wisdom, saying something that goes against what they've been told or heard, right? How to double your money without any risk, right? That's a really good thing. How to double your money, how to double your investment. Now, you got to be careful. Some of these things you got to check with the FTC. So just bear with me as I'm saying these things off the top of my mind. You have to go back and then later FTC and Facebook proof all of these types of headlines, because these things are claims, and Facebook is really against different types of claims.
We're not suggesting that you use them. They are true for your product, obviously.
Yeah, and even
more marketing example in teaching.
Yeah, and even if it's true, sometimes the FTC won't allow it, right? And so
also make you prove it.
Yeah,
and we've seen that. Yeah.
So one of the things that you want to remember is you could get away with saying something different, but they'll hear the same thing. So you can't say something like, I'm going to show you how you could make $30,000 in the next 30 days. You can't do that, because that's making an income claim, right? What you can say, and again, you got to check with Facebook's terms of service, but in terms of the FTC, you could say, I'm going to show you the method that we use to create 30,000 in the last 30 days. Now, remember, Stripe may not like that. Your merchant account may not like that. Facebook may not like it. Facebook may allow it, but Google doesn't. So you got to make sure that you're checking the terms of service, especially when it comes to advertising. And then say to yourself, what is the problem? Maybe it was a specific claim. Maybe I could say something like this, how we doubled our revenue without blah, 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 blah. Okay. Facebook usually allows something like that because it's not specific to an income claim.
So we had a customer just about 2 months ago that applied for about $20 million a month in processing. And he had a course said how I made $30 million in the last 3 years. And when he went to underwriting, they said, prove it to me. We gave him P&L, underwriting said, good to go.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah. So sometimes they just want proof. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Be detailed so they can visualize the outcome vividly. Here's another example. How to reduce your body fat percentage by 4% by eating delicious chocolate chip cookies, right? Now, these might be keto cookies or vegan chocolate chip. You could even have vegan chocolate chip cookies. They could be made without milk and all these different things. People don't want to deprive themselves of cookies, so but they do want to reduce body fat. That's the bad. This is the good. Here's another example. How to generate 20 plus leads a day and sponsor 2 to 5 people per week without cold calls, chasing friends and family, and pestering strangers on the street. Okay, so you got into multi-level marketing. What happened? You went to your friends and they're like, dude, listen, if you want to remain my friend, do me a favor, don't bring this up again. No, but hey, listen, I don't want to have to say this again. Please, I'm not interested in multi-level marketing. Now your friends are getting upset. Your family got upset. You're pestering them. And so what do they tell you to do in multi-level marketing back in the old days, right? Before the internet, they told you the 5-foot rule. After you tap out your family, then it's your friends, and then it's everybody on the street. And then you have these leads, and we're going to give you leads, and you can go out and you can call them, and you could call these leads. Hello? Yes. Hi. I'd want to know if you'd be interested. Where'd you get my number, right? So what do you have here? You have a jaded person. We would have asked ourselves, somebody that wants leads from multi-level marketing, they love this service. What is their pain? Their pain is they're jaded. They've tapped out their network. They're embarrassed of cold calling and talking to people at Starbucks. And what is our solution? Our solution is we're going to show them how to generate 20 leads a day and sponsor. Out of those 20 leads a day, you're going to be able to sponsor 2 to 5 people per week without the bad. Cold calling, chasing friends and family, and pestering strangers. So we think that's a pretty good one right there. All right. Formula number 2. How this given premise got me this awesome outcome and result. How this got me that. Okay. So the premise is your technique, your hook, right? Butterfly marketing, the triple coil spring, right? Got me this This premise is your technique, your style, your strategy, your tactic, or your formula. The outcome is the benefit and the result that they want after they have successfully used your solution. We call that the promised land. All right. Example. When I ate massive amounts of rich, delicious, simple to make foods, I lost 18 pounds in 29 days. There's the 29 days. People want to eat a lot of food that is simple. People want to eat a lot of food that's simple to make, and they want to lose weight quickly. That's why that works. Another example, how spending 19 minutes a day on Instagram got me 10 plus free hot leads every day and 64 signups each month, right? So what I like about this, Matt, is it says how spending 19 minutes a day on Instagram, right? Now, some people may like that it would be an hour, like my wife, Michelle would be like, I don't care. You know, she loves to be on Instagram. For somebody like me, I don't like to be on social media. It gets my blood pressure goes up. Yeah. So if somebody was to say to me, Mike, I'm going to show you how you can spend 15 to 20 minutes a day, no joke, on Instagram, but that's going to get you 15% more leads into GrooveFunnel. All right. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Show me how, right? Now, how spending 19 minutes a day, you could sprinkle things in like how this simple hack while spending 19 minutes a day, little things like that. Another example, how I use Facebook to sign up 122 reps in less than 6 months without spending a dime on advertising, and how you can too, right? How I did a specific result. That's the really good again, without the bad, and how you can too. That's a mixture of the two. So remember, this is how this premise got me this awesome outcome. What is the premise? How I use Facebook to get these reps in 6 hours. Everything here is so specific without the bad. Let's go on to formula number 3 because we have 19, lots to go through. Are you in this kind of, and then insert the pain or the anxiety. Let's get to some examples here. So if they answer yes to this question, then they are qualified and this gets their attention. Now, a lot of people will say, never use anything in your headline that people can say no to. I don't necessarily agree with that. I've had lots of people say, well, we don't want to put anything in the headline that they could say no to. I would say, hey, if we did our job highly targeting this customer, we already know their pain point.
We know the answer is not no, right? Yeah.
Right. And if 30% of the people leave because they don't have that problem, that's okay. Then they don't need our solution. But the people that do have that pain, we're talking to them, right? So remember, all the exercise that we did before, we already know this customer. This is going to help us write this headline better because we know the pain point. When you go to GrooveFunnels and ClickFunnels and you just see a headline and it says, insert this thing right here, you're just creating a Frankenstein sales letter. Okay. So if they answer yes to this question, then they're qualified and it gets their attention. Here are some examples. Are you blogging every day and still not making any sales online? Right. This would be targeting blogging affiliate marketers.
Yeah, right? I got another example. I got an ad this morning from one of the famous car insurance company. I'm not going to mention the name because I can't recall. This one was like, are you commuting more than 15 miles per day? Yeah. Right. And they know that it matches 98% of the population.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes, right. Very few people are going to say no.
Tactic, right.
So, are you doing everything your upline told you and still not recruiting people to your business? Right. So next here, formula number 4, achieved an awesome outcome by overcoming a massive disadvantage. All right. So, how you can show them that they can have a desired outcome achieved, even if they're in a situation that seems like there's no easy solution. So let's look at some examples here, right? We want them, if they can say in their brain, what? Are you on the right track? So example, how I fired my boss and made $101,672 online in 12 months, starting with $10K in debt and poor English. Okay, so keep in mind, remember, these things can work for subject lines. They could work for email marketing. Not everything is always going to be, Facebook ads. If you have to deal with an ad that's talking about a claim, then you'll have to do something like how I 10x my revenue or something along those lines. And remember, no hype. You got to be able to substantiate all the claims. Example, how I got hired as a top consultant in Fortune 500 firm without graduating from formal high school, right? These are incongruent juxtapositions. How I got hired as a top consultant in a Fortune 500 school without graduating from an Ivy League school or graduating from a formal high school, right? And then, we see things like that, like ex-con finds the straight path and starts a seven-figure business with this one method, right? Or high school dropout. Those different types of things work as well. Dead broke, burnt out dad goes from 10K in debt with a soul-crushing job to earning over $12,000 per month online, plus total job freedom in just 5 minutes. All right. Formula number 5, how to live the promise, starting with a low magnitude change, activity, or situation. So this talks about a really, really big change in your life, with basically just being willing to just do some small changes in your life, maybe just taking a daily walk, things like that. Describing how they can get the desired result, living in the promised land, and it doesn't require a significant amount of action without the need to make, and again, without the need of making big changes. Example, how to buy an apartment building for less than the cost of 1 unit's monthly rent. How to generate cash flow with no money down, right? These right here are the objections that people have in real estate, right? Bad credit, no money down, right? I want to get into the business of flipping houses. I want to get into the business of buying houses that I can generate for rental income, and how to generate cash flow, or we could even be more specific, how to buy a house and rent it for less than the mortgage payment, for more than the mortgage payment, even if you have bad credit and no money down, right? Next one, how to generate 10 leads a day on Instagram using your smartphone, just 30 minutes a day, all for free, right? Formula number 6, for the prospect in pain, how to live the promise, the dream, the promised land, starting with a low magnitude change, activity, or situation. All right. For the busy mom, how to quickly cook healthy meals your children will love without ever turning on the oven. All right. I remember doing these headlines 4 years ago. All this stuff comes from
the new wave oven.
Yeah, from stuff that from a course that we did years ago. I dug up and pasted in here for you. For the busy mom, how to quickly cook healthy meals your children will love without even turning on the oven. So who are we catering to, right? This is just an example. I don't necessarily know a product that would go with this. This would be more infomercial type of thing, but we're going after busy moms. They just got
busy with work.
Yeah, they got to get back to work.
Yeah,
they work a second job at home or on the computer, and they're busy, and they want to be able to cook up something their kids would love. Another example, for the struggling network marketer, how to effortlessly sponsor 15 to 30 people per month and make 10,000 every month without spending money on ads. All right. Next, if you can or have, that means if you have this ability, then you can have this. So I've always liked the simple one when you're trying to deal with something with technology. You used to see the headline, if you can copy and paste, you have what it takes to use our software for day trading, right? That's basically, you're trying to say, look, if you know how to copy and paste, you'll be able to use our software for day trading. Just follow the red, get out when the red arrows show up and buy more when the green arrows show up.
And it's just like the car insurance in Florida. Everybody matches your headline, right?
4 examples here. So remember, if you can or have, then you can achieve this awesome outcome. If you suffer from chocolate cravings, you can sleep better and lose ugly fat starting tomorrow. If you have this problem, you still can have what you want, is what we're saying here, right? So here's another example. If you have a smartphone and 2 hours a day, you can generate a 6-figure passive income from home. If you are a baby boomer, you can retire by making a passive income from home. If you can speak a second language, you can make a part-time income as a translator working from home. All right. Next, secrets, tricks, strategies, tactics, techniques, systems.
I love that.
Of a person living the promised land.
Multi-million-dollar.
What is that one? The secrets of the millionaire mind, or
exactly.
People love secrets. If you can show them a secret technique, a system, a trick, a hack that they can do, they're going to want to know it, right? So I love that. Here's the simple hack that we did to our headline that we use for every headline that doubles our conversion through our funnels, right? Things like people want to know what the top 1% of all successful network marketers and make over 20K a month do every single day. That's a great title for a blog post. This secret ninja strategy will generate 20 plus ready to buy leads a day to your business. This secret ninja strategy will generate 20 plus ready to buy leads a day to your business. All right. Number 9. And got 10 more. Warning, alert, attention, urgent, special report, be advised.
Florida drivers can now save 15% if you drive more than 50 miles a day, right?
Right. A specific kind of prospect will experience or become a specific situation even more painful than the one they are currently in. Oh my God. Right. Warning. If you are a male over 50 and experience back pain, you might be experiencing early osteoporosis. Warning. If you're buying leads for your network marketing business, you may go bankrupt soon or will go bankrupt soon. I also like this in the reverse. Just a 15-minute phone call can save you 15 minutes on your car insurance, right? So give me or show me a situation, an amount of an activity, and I'll deliver you the promised land or prevent you from experiencing more pain. Moving towards pleasure, moving away from pain. Example, give me 18 minutes and I'll show you how to never pay more than 30 cents per visitor again. Give me 27 minutes and I'll show you how to sign up 2 people a day to your business. Now, this is a great headline preceding your VSL, right? You know your VSL is 27 minutes or 18 minutes. Your webinar is 48 minutes. You say, give me just 40 minutes and I'll give you this. One of the most popular news stations in the world on the radio is WINS in 1010 Wins, New York. And their headline was, you give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. And on your daily commute, you knew that in 22 minutes, then they did a commercial and then they went again. And you would learn everything from local news, world, sports, weather, and traffic, all in 22 minutes. And it was a great
marketing.
You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Shout out to anybody that's ever heard that. All right. Number 11. Let's put this here. Specific number or a statistic of this type of prospect. 48% of these people, 4 to 5 dentist surveys, whatever that may be, are now living in the promised land despite an initial negative reaction to this premise. Oh, let's look at some of these examples. 19,231 people. This could be the number of your customers that have now used your product to build their first funnel or whatever. 19,231 people with cholesterol higher than 300 eliminated their heart disease risk despite scoffing at the idea of eating more fat per day. Despite
something you really want to do, right?
Or despite the myth that says that's bad, right? So I'll even turn this one even more. 19,231 people using our method that had high cholesterol, higher than 300, eliminated heart disease risk despite scoffing at the idea of eating 3 eggs per day, including the yolk. Oh, that's interesting, right? That's a little bit of a hook. You got me. You got my attention. These are why the headlines we call these attention-grabbing headlines. Doing incongruent juxtapositions that doesn't make sense. How can that be?
If that happens, it will continue reading, right? That's a major point.
One of the best ones I like for that is how a one-legged golfer won a golf driving tournament by using this technique and had all the pros shocked. Right? It's like
I thought you were going to say an ass kicking contest.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're getting silly here. No,
I like
one-legged man in an ass kicking contest. Yeah. So if you see the one-legged golfer winning a golf driving, can drive the ball farther than anybody. Hey, that's what we call an incongruent juxtaposition of a headline. When people literally go, wait, what? And you say, I'm not kidding you. Wait, so you're telling me you doubled your calories and you lost 20 pounds and kept it off? Yeah. Can you explain to me how? What are these calories? Are they rice cake calories?
You got my attention.
They got my attention, right? Yeah. Let's find out. What if I were to tell you? I was able to do this without giving up any foods that I like, right? We might later find out that I'm eating pizza with almond flour instead of regular flour and gluten, and I might be doing a pizza without cheese, or maybe it's just all vegetables. But when you follow this simple recipe that I can show you how to cook in 10 minutes, well, you can still eat all the food you love, right? So that's at least we got to get you hooked. I hope you're starting to understand. If you came to this presentation before and you started, people say, what's your hook? I'm sorry, I don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean? And folks, I'm not kidding you. I have this problem too. Sometimes somebody will say to me, what's your hook? And I have to go, what is the hook? Oh, okay. The hook is what grabs them. The frame is the story of the hook, right? We have to start with an incongruent juxtaposition. What is our method? What is the coil method? What is butterfly marketing? What makes people say, okay, you had my curiosity. Now you got my attention. Headlines need to make a promise. Write that down. I don't have that into this presentation. Your headline needs to make a promise. Number 12, specific number of ways that you could reach the promised land. 7 ways to reduce belly fat. 7 simple, several simple exercises you can do every morning under 5 minutes to reduce belly fat. Number of ways to reach the shore of the promised land while not increasing any pain, effort, anxiety, or loss. We're seeing a lot of these things, right? Incongruent juxtaposition make us go, wait, what? Really good without the bad. This is just an example that says there's 7 or 9 or 11 different ways. This can also be used in reverse. The 7 mistakes people do that stop them from losing weight. Exactly. So 5 ways to eat pasta and bread and still lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle. You in, Matt? I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in all the way.
Now, by the way, you have the rest of the presentation on that one. The rest of the page.
I remember when me and Andy wrote these presentations, and I had I knew some of these things were just let me talk about what would be a dream for me. 5 different ways to eat pasta and bread and still lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle. I'm all in. Tell me, right? All right. 22 ways to instantly triple each of your employees' daily output while maintaining their current salary level and happiness, right? Without, without.
That's the top headlines, right?
Without causing a mutiny, right? How to get a result quickly without risk. Very simple. How to get out of debt in 90 days or less with this simple guaranteed system. Next, 14, how to eliminate specific pain without more pain, right? So how do I lose 33 pounds of fat without torture of diets or hard exercise, right? Look, dieting is hard for people that aren't used to it, right? Eating that salad is a lot easier on day 7 than it was on day 1. I happen to know that. Hard exercise, right? What are we going to do here later? We're going to tell people, hey, maybe you just go out for a daily walk, put your headphones on, you listen to some of those books that you got from Audible, and you're going to find out how quick that 1 hour walk can be, talking from experience. 5 more to go. If specific emotional hot button situation is happening, then the worst fear might be true. If you're experiencing low back pain while sitting, while driving, while sleeping, then you may need surgery. Read on to find out. Read on to avoid a painful surgery, right? Number 16, what to do if specific hot button situation. What to do if you notice your husband looking at other women, right? Now this, you can exactly see, what type of market like this is going to be going for, right? What somebody may be feeling, right? What to do if you notice your husband looking at other women. This might be about communication, right? This could be the same thing. What to do if you notice your wife looking at other men, right? This could be about communication, how to react so that you don't get into a fight. Is it you? Is it them? These different things but I think that's a really good headline. Number 17, mistakes most customer description make in this particular situation and how to avoid them, how to avoid them, how to avoid them. So 10 mistakes most men make, and that could be 11 or that could be 7. Okay, so this could really be XX number of mistakes most customer description make in this situation, how to avoid them. 10 mistakes most men make when approaching women and how to avoid them, all right? This comes out of that, David D'Angelo, double your dating type of stuff. And, the other ones above here would be like, how to know when she's ready to be kissed, right? What great headlines those are. Number 5, obviously you got to know your target market. 5 mistakes network marketers make when they generate leads online and how to avoid them, all right? 7 things never to say to a prospect when you first meet them, right? Example, next one, why this very common sense approach doesn't work and what to do about it. Why diets don't work and what to do about it. I don't really like that example. And that was 5 years ago when I did that. I probably would have come up with some better ones here. I would probably go after a specific diet that I was juxtaposed to. So if I'm going to go after the the paleo diet, right? And the paleo diet is all about eating meats. I might say why vegan diets don't work and what you should do about it, right? And if I'm doing a vegan diet, I might say why paleo diets don't work, right? So again, you're just trying to tap into the market, what's hot, what's on the news. I know keto is big now. It's like every 3 years there seems to be this new thing. I remember when it was the South Beach diet. It was Atkins, South Beach, and the Zone, and the raw food, the vegan, the
paleo is big
the paleo, paleo.
That's eating like a caveman.
And keto,
right?
Paleo is eating like a caveman. Pretty much. It's kind of like mixing raw food vegan with meat. And somebody's going to say, Mike, you got that wrong.
I know we did.
Look at these jowls, folks. You can tell I got it wrong. All right. Finally, our last one here. How to turn problem into a benefit. Ooh, I like that. How you can turn your current problem into a benefit. How to use your credit cards to make money. How to lose weight by eating more food. So take time to craft your headlines because it's the door to your online business. When you have capture pages that convert 50 to 70%, as opposed to 20%, it makes a huge difference to your bottom line. Now, I'm just going to put this here. A little hypey. But you don't want to settle for a landing page that converts at 18% or 25%. One of the other things that we want to talk about is always make sure that, we talk about this all the time. One of the things that you want to track is your goal, right? Your goal is what is the most important thing about this funnel? It's making the sale. So you may find out that you can go from 25% to 40% conversion on your landing page, which is great. You've increased your landing page, but maybe shifting that frame or that position doesn't translate to the next video. Your opt-in page may say the 7 foods you should never eat when trying to lose weight. Are bananas bad for you? And then your video addresses the 7 foods that you should never eat, and it talks about whether bananas are good or bad, right? And now you're at 25% conversion, and now you try one of these headlines and you go to 40% conversion. Well, that's great. You're making more leads, but now your sales video went from 4% conversion down to 1% because you're making a different promise at the beginning of the funnel that you're not addressing in the video, right? So you got to be prepared to say, ooh, I just went from 25% conversion to 50% conversion. I got to change my video sales letter to address this promise, right? You've got to keep a congruent funnel all the way through. So we're going to go back.
There's just one thing I really want to mention here. One thing that's very impressive is how when you go through that list, it almost felt like I read them all a bunch of times, right? It almost feels like, is that really news to me? But it absolutely is, right? Because what it's telling you is that it's working, it's been tried, and a lot of people are using those techniques because they do work, right? And that's when it's even more valuable and more important to go through that today. Now it gives you an opportunity to take something that and have light on it and see it and understand it better.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to one of my old sales letters, only to show this thing. This is the Joe Sugarman headline, and I don't think it's used enough. It's a 3 to 5 word statement. It's a 3 to 5 word statement that slaps the user in the face, and then you put a headline underneath it. So it's a super fat font headline. I call this the Daily News, Washington Post headline. Like usually the big 3 words. I'm trying to get away from politics. Yankees blow it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or even better, when you can do the pun. Who's better than the pun? Than the New York Post, right? But they would, if you can basically have something that the person's doing in the picture that looks like their last name, right? They were really good at so like if somebody's
subtle puns,
who is that guy? Andrew Weiner, right? Right? When he basically he fell right. He was the pun for what he did on Twitter, showing his wiener. So you can imagine the headline. So instead of the big headline, it's the 3-word headline, and then you have the headline underneath it. So I'm gonna pull up here. I always go back to this here because it's a sales letter that I wrote, but this particular one will, if we go back to, I think in 2006. Now, you'll see that I didn't have this when I first launched it on July 7th of 2006. Let's open, oops, let me do this way. I want to open a couple of them. So this is when I first launched it. I doubt that that's going to have that headline. And then I'm going to go cool. I'm going to go back to December when I'm pretty sure I read Triggers by Joe Sugarman, and then I changed that headline. So, okay. So you see what we have here, folks? We have breaking news, right? This is what I call the New York Times headline. And this is what we call a subheadline, but the real headline. All right. And this is called a subheadline. And then to find out the truth, read on. So let's see what I changed here. Marketer buys his own product. Secrets revealed. The most shocking and confidential money-making marketing strategies ever compiled may now be available to you. This is a shitty headline. I can see why I changed it. Could the information be so good that the author actually purchased a copy for himself? Okay. Not a big fan of that one. Let's see what it was months later. Okay. Stop the traffic. Imagine if today you put into motion a few small actions, right? I'm with the hook, right? The butterfly effect, tiny, seemingly
just do a few small things, right?
Stop the traffic. Imagine. So this gets your headline, right? I probably, I like that. I was just going to say, I probably should have had something up here. There it is. Marketer cries. I probably would have put that more here now. Marketer cries, stop the traffic. Imagine if today you put into motion a few small actions that in just a few short weeks delivered an unstoppable flood of traffic and sales in which the only way you could shut it off would be to call your web host and insult his mother. Warning. One of the most startling, confidential, and talked about money-making marketing strategies ever compiled in one book may now be available to you. So one of the things I want to let you know is putting headlines in quotes also increases conversions. Make sure to do that. Let's see if we ever changed that headline. Let's go to, this was 2008. Let's see what happened in 2008. I doubt we would have changed it, but let's see.
Let's remember, these were the earlier days, right? Of the beginning of all the digital marketing.
Yeah. So that stayed. And let's see if it looks like we made some changes to the site here in 2013. Let's see here. What happened? Nope. It's all the same. Must have been some other changes that we put there. So I'm going to leave this tab open because one of the things we're going to be talking about is linear as opposed to jumping on the table. So we're going to want to talk about that in just a minute. So let's go back to the PowerPoint slide. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Q&A, more questions here. And who is it? Deb Cole was doing our moderating. Deb Cole, if later we'll get to the questions, but if we got any people shouting out, just so I can get some feedback if they're engaged here, if they're liking the content. So if there's any little cheerleading squad that we could get, like, hey, love this content. I'm having my there we go. Edward says bingo. So what I'm going to do is Matt or I will shout those out. We're about 5 to 10 minutes away from the 2-hour mark when we're going to finish the presentation, and then we're going to go with the Q&A.
Well, Jason says great material.
And then Mike, we also have Chelsea in because I'm going to hop on a call. So we're going to have Chelsea popping in and helping also with the questions.
Okay, I haven't looked in the Skype group. How are the questions? Do we have?
There's just a few. There's just a few.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
We're doing great. All right, everybody. Thank you, Deb. So now, to achieve a higher conversion, you need to jumpstart the motivation of the prospect. What does that mean? Jumpstart. I want you to picture your landing page when you're writing your copy. That what you want to do is you want to put the paddles on the prospect and look at everybody and go clear, and then jumpstart the prospect. And what that means is we need to immediately jump in. Now they're on the page. Now we're basically going to say, how do we design this page with our copy? We need to focus on problem, agitate, solve. I should have made that word in the middle bold. Problem, agitate, and solve. All right? Agitate means, Matt, we may have a problem. I need to basically take the wound of that problem and add some salt in there and get some Brillo and really remind you of how painful that is, right?
Yeah.
We see this all the time, right? They immediately do this in an infomercial, right? And I'll just joke around here. I don't know. My head will probably pop out here. I'll go
typically
on to
the housewife where everything's falling apart.
I'm good here, right? So you see this in the infomercial. It's problem, agitate, and how do they agitate? They put it in black and white, and then they have somebody do this. Are you tired of mops that don't reach the corners that hurt your back? Ow, right? Ow, like problem, agitate, solve. Look, they're shameless at it, but we need to understand we need to be that way as well. We have to remind people of what it's like. We have to make that face, right? Yeah. Hey, do you suffer from acne? Are you afraid to look people in the eyes? I know, I was once too, but one of those 19 headlines, right? Immediately punch them in the head. Are you spending thousands of dollars every single month on software that's not working for you? And on top of that, you have to hire a developer to pay them thousands of dollars a month simply because you're trying to change the world. Well, if that sounds like you, if you give me one of those headlines, give me 37 minutes and I'm going to show you a really, really good thing without the bad, without breaking the bank, saving you 90% of your money, doubling your leads, losing weight, all that different type of stuff. So again, you're targeting a market on Facebook. If you've targeted them and you know who they are, they're old, they're young, they're female, they're male, then you design a landing page that immediately says, are you this person? Put on that face or the happiness and put salt in that wound and get them to feel like What is it like to deal with this? Quitting smoking, right? We have to remind people that, do you have a kid or daughter? Do you worry about being there for their sweet 16? Okay, agitate, tears, solve. Okay, you got my attention here. We have to do that. Folks, please don't ever say things like, I am not going to do that. I'm not into doing sales copy. I'm not sales. Put the words on the page and let the page do its job. And when you get onto that video, if you don't feel comfortable acting that out, hire somebody to make the video for you. It's perfectly okay to have somebody do your videos for you. I mean, corporations do that all the time. They got Flow and Progressive, all these different things. Okay, next, you need to have a clearly stated value proposition. Now,
yes,
you're going to see on the next slide that the value proposition is not the headline. The headline we just went over. The headline is an attention-grabbing hook. The value proposition is then stated. So let me see if I can give you an example. Mike will show my screen. Just show you one of my other companies and see if they still do that. Webinar Jam. Okay. This is a headline. Maybe it's been tested. This isn't the one that we used to have here. But now we start going into the value proposition. Let's see how they do Ever Webinar.
Shiloh, here's an example of another headline.
Ooh, this one's a little bit better. This is using one of the 19 headlines. Earn more without working more, right? And now, right, this is perfect, folks. You see what we're saying? We're saying a hook, an attention-grabbing headline, something that's an incongruent juxtaposition, a really good thing without the bad. Earn more without working more. And then we can now go to what the slide said before, have a clearly stated value proposition. The value proposition, create pre-recorded webinars that look and feel live. All right. So let's go back to the slides.
This one is another one, right? 6 automated ways that automated webinars can scale your business.
Oh my goodness. Go back to the screen there. I just spoke about this
I thought that was
the other day.
A good one. And it was in a pop-up way.
Yeah. What did I always say that we put inside of our pop-ups? I said this yesterday. You can see it. It's a legacy from my previous company. Wait, don't leave empty-handed. In the list building module, this is exactly what we said. In fact, if we go back, I'm not going to do it now. I basically said, wait, don't leave empty-handed. Have a picture of what they get. Make what I call the Joe Sugarman style New York Post headline and make a quick little offer. Don't leave empty-handed is the best thing that you can do. Show an image of what they get. A little more copy here for them. Okay, back to the slides here. Third bullet point. Oh, it's just so easy when you have a template. Have a strong incentive to take action. Like I said, folks, if you're just grabbing our templates or lead pages or Optimize Express or Thrive or ClickFunnels, the worst thing you can do is just basically, oh, they have an image. Let me put an image of my product. No, design all of this stuff first in the meta onto a Google Doc and then add these things to the template if it's not there. Why do we have a strong incentive to take action? It's simply one of the checklist items. The reason why we have this on the left of the screen is to show these are things, fundamentals that you need on your page. A strong incentive. Always ask yourself, can I do better? Did I just come up with the 7 ways or what is the pain of the prospect? Start from there and say, how can I deliver something that gets to the pain of the prospect? The stronger the incentive for them to take action, the more they're going to take action. 4th bullet point. To achieve a higher conversion, you need to remove friction points and distraction. Overcome objections. Distractions are things in the navigation.
And it seems like it's really not achieving your goal, right?
Yeah,
it can be useless.
Yes, multiple call to actions.
Yes.
Asking them to buy now, learn more, download a free report, download all these multiple call to actions, or Your call to action, like I said, just step 1, enter your email, cure my gout, free report to cure gout. If you start putting name, first name, last name, email,
date of birth,
phone number, why do you need my phone number? If you do, put it underneath. We will never call you. This is to send you a text message reminder when the webinar is going live. Oh, okay. If that's something you tested and it works. I would even tell you, get that on page 2. We're going to talk about that right here. Reduce fear and anxiety. Have seals, have a secure socket layer, which we give you with Groove, have better business bureau seals, trust seals, all those different things. Use a shy yes, a multi-step process. Use the term underneath. Again, folks, if you just use our templates, if our designers didn't put in there things that are tested underneath an opt-in form, like we respect your privacy, actually converts better than we will never share your email address with a third party. But we know these different things. So by putting those things in there, that reduces fear and anxiety. You want to remove friction points by having information that's not needed. Moving on, on-page fundamentals.
One call to action.
One call to action.
Yes.
The reason why it's bold here is a clear headline. We went over those. Make a promise, right? Remember I said, I didn't put that in there, but I actually do have it on the slides. Make a promise. I said, see next slide for deep dive. I decided to move the headlines above. So it's previous slide on the deep dive of the headlines. Your value proposition goes in the sub headline and the supporting bullets, not in the headlines. Okay. But it is clearly stated on the page. This is the next one I want to have here. Have a linear thought sequence. The entire page needs to tell a story. No jumping on the table. So how do I explain that? Jumping on the table is when sales copy is a story. It's a conversation. It needs to be linear. Every single subheadline throughout the page needs to be connected to the previous, and it needs to be connected to what's going forward. At no point do you simply want to just say, you're talking about, let's say, you're talking about getting traffic, and then you simply jump on the table, and that's an expression of in a party. You jump on a table, and everybody looks at you, and you go, and you say something like, webinars are great for business. Like your entire message needs to be a conversation. So let me share my screen and show you what we mean by that. This is a sales letter. As I said, I wrote this back in 2006. But what you're going to see is this entire conversation. This is called a subheadline on the page. The mistake you make when you're jumping on the table is when you're starting a new conversation with a headline. You do not want to do this. This is something to get them to stop if they're skimming on the page. All right. So you'll notice that this headline is tied to here and it's tied to here. So, but for many, myself included, ... the pure gold of this course was the butterfly marketing manuscript. So this is just a stopgap that this is all connected. Let's take a look over here again. In fact, here are two well-known marketers that sent me these notes after the success they had just reading the manuscript. Results after just reading the manuscript. No jumping on the table. This entire page tells one story. What my former owner in the car business would say, ... Let's not focus on how many sales we made. I want to focus on how many sales we did not make. Okay. Everything here is connected. There's a connected tissue going through. We'll go back to the slides, Mike. Thanks. And so as we see here, in the middle of the slides, it says have a linear thought sequence. The page needs to tell a story. There's a connective tissue going through everything. There's no jumping on the table. If you want to jump on the table, write a transition sentence. Not only do we get you traffic, but we also get you more leads. And then you talk about leads. Getting leads is one thing, but what a lot of people are also interested is saving money on ad costs. Mm-hmm. You don't want to jump on the table. You want to tell a story and have a conversation. I think that makes sense as we just went through that there. Identify negative page elements that are hurting conversion rates. After you look at your page, look at everything with a very simple point and say, is the logo helping or hurting making a sale.
Every single thing.
Every single thing. Yes. You want to look at a page element and say, can this be hurting the conversion? Does having an image here hurt? Does this particular image hurt? Do we need to show the founders on this particular page? Let's test it.
Well, is that distraction?
Maybe it's distracting. Maybe who is Matt Serralta? Now they go and they type in Google and they're looking on YouTube. Oh, look at this free presentation from Matt Serralta. Maybe it's not necessary. It might be, but don't be afraid to test taking off those different things. Okay. Next page. Next page here. Continued. We spoke about this with the list building. We spoke about this yesterday with Matt. We spoke about this with Leanne. Using social proof. I didn't put it into my slides. Let me pull up here on my laptop, and I'll tell you, Mike, when I have it. We'll pull it up. Take a look at this screenshot right here on my laptop. This is Trello using social proof, right? They say, start planning today, sign up and join over 1 million teams worldwide, right? And they're also showing some authority and social proof of people like Google, Costco, people that use Trello. All right, back to the main slide.
Just saying also over 1 million users, right? That's authority right there. It's no joke.
Exactly.
If 1 million people use it, that must be pretty good.
I love live countdown timers, right?
Yeah.
You know, social proof when you go into the Lincoln, the Midtown Tunnel in New York, it always tells you there's a live feed of the national debt, and it's like 23 trillion, and you literally see that thing spinning, but
never stops right now.
Remember, folks, social proof is not proof. I'm going to say that every time we talk about social proof. Social proof simply means
authority.
That people believe this to be true because other people are currently doing it. So if there are 15 people standing online at this hot dog truck and nobody standing online at this hot dog truck, we don't have any other proof that one is better other than the social society telling us that. So people tend to look at what other people are doing. I tell you before that if you have reviews, we spoke about it on Amazon yesterday, 18,000 4.7 star reviews are going to do better than 5 4.9 star reviews, because when you have 18,000 reviews, that's a lot of social proof when they're very, very good. So having lots of testimonials on the page in and of itself is social proof. Having a screenshot of your affiliate account showing that you made $7,000, that's proof. That is not social proof. Social proof involves lots of people saying things. What if we're on a live stream? If Joe Biden is on a live stream and there's 117 people watching, there's not good social proof. If there's 117,000 people watching, that's better social proof. When you go into a movie theater, if you walk into the movie theater and there's 2 people in the movie theater, the social proof tells you maybe I'm not watching the right one. If you get there a half hour early and the theater is packed and there's 2 seats in the back, you better go get them. Social proof tells you you're in the right theater. That's it.
Sometimes you go to webinars, right? And you see it's kind of slow, it's happening. Then one person goes to the front and buy, right? Or excuse me, not a webinar, a live event, right? A seminar. And so one person goes in and buys, so then the second person go in, and then it becomes a snowball effect, right?
Absolutely.
And I've heard of some famous people hiring like 10 people to come to the front or offering their products for free. So they just create that line.
You've heard
that line that's going.
Never in any
very
event.
Famous people.
Never of the guys that we know or have ever had to our events. I can promise you that. But
I don't know anybody personally. But I was reading an article.
There are people. That will get people to stand up.
Just go to the front.
Look.
Even people started applauding, right? Sometime during concert to get stuff like that.
Yeah, no, look, that's what a laugh track is. A laugh track is social proof. With it, you go into YouTube and look at Big Bang Theory without laugh track, and it's like very awkward. Friends without a laugh track. Laugh track was social proof that other people laughing is telling you that it's funny. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You go to a comedy club and you see a comedian you never heard of before, like you're cracking up. You have the time of your life. You're laughing at it because everybody there is laughing. And all of a sudden you come back home and you tell everybody, this is the best comedian in the world. Let me show you on YouTube. And you're just like, I don't know. He was funnier in person.
Yeah.
All right. That's social proof. Let's move on so we can get you guys going here. Brand consistency and scenting. So
Very important.
use the same colors and the same schemas along all of your brand websites, especially as you're building a brand. If you're using certain colors or images or a woman in your ads, well, if you're doing a specific ad, make sure that's sent it to the landing page. Greet them at that landing page with the same image of that woman, and have the same colors from the ad come to the landing page, so that people, they just feel like, the funnel actually started with the ad.
Yeah,
exactly. Put your call to action above the fold, right? So you always want to have your call to action be before they have to scroll down the page. Contrasting button colors, Matt, you spoke about this in depth last week, right? Or was it earlier today? I forget, it was last week. Limited navigation, use visual cues. And what I mean by visual cues, if you put the camera on me here for a minute, right? You want to do things like have pictures where you're going
towards the add to cart
like
button.
that.
Right.
Red arrows pointing down to the call to action, right? If you have people on the page, always have the person looking towards the sales copy or looking towards the call to action. Never have, I'll do it over here. Never have your call to action right here and have an image looking over here. You always want the person or whatever pointing looking at the call to action. So that's what we mean by visual cues. Little arrows, little red triangle arrows that are pointing, etc.
In conversion testing, this makes a huge difference when you have something pointed, just like even the example on your screen is very good. You always want to point towards a call to action or have people face that way. Huge difference in conversion testing.
Yeah, and you can flip the image.
Just 5 years ago, and I couldn't believe.
Just take the image into a free software like
right?
Snagit, Photoshop, and any image editor, and just flip image horizontally, and you can make somebody flip the way they're looking. I've even done it with me. I've even taken me and I've flipped it. Now I know that my teeth are shaped a certain way. I have a little scar on my face. So most people don't pick up on it. I pick up on it instantly because your face looks so different. Next, it says custom button text, right? Always put the right copy into the button and test what the button says. Yes, I want to lose weight now, or send me the free report. Test those different things when you get into the optimization phase. Once you found out this is the right landing page that worked out of the other 4 that we tested, now we can start to optimize. All right. Let's see. Is there something else after this? No. Q&A. Okay, folks. Final slide. On page fundamentals. Yes. Continue. Have a product image in the hero section. So get a graphic designer that makes what we call a product image. You know, the mock-up binder. Basically, camera on Matt, if you can for a second, Mike. Okay, you see those books right there. Those are real world copies. You can have images made that look like that. You want to be able to, and it's always better to do a mock-up, a Photoshop mock-up, than take a picture of the real one. You know, right. for a web page. Next, as we said, relevant form fields, guys. I'm having a call with my designers. We're going to go back and change some of the form fields. Our guys are designing templates and they're putting phone number and company name just so the templates look nicer. And I'm like, no, people aren't even going to be able to integrate that with MailChimp unless they go into the form fields and MailChimp and say, send these custom fields.
This field, right.
Make sure, thank God you have Groove Pages, that your pages are optimized for mobile. But having said that, if you only designed your page in the desktop mode, go look at it. Click the mobile, the iPad, the vertical, all those different things, and deselect the other devices. We're not going to get into that now, but there's plenty of videos on that. And make your video, make your landing page look good on a mobile device, on a vertical iPad, a horizontal iPad, a laptop, and a full desktop. And Groove Pages is the only platform in the world that that allows you to do that just with the click of a button and then design.
And guys, I can't believe how many people, do not pay attention to that. And remember, now I believe, what is it, 80% of your traffic comes from mobile, right? And if you run an ad on Facebook, they're more likely to come from mobiles than PC by a long shot. So
yeah, we design in desktop and we forget that people are on mobile.
And it is crucial. And I can't insist enough how much of an investment it's forced to do that.
Yeah, and then you might even want to like take out some things. Like remember, we have some competing things here. Look what we say. Over here, I just want to see where it said it. Okay, see the third bullet? Put your call to action above the fold. Okay, and then look what we have over here at the top. It says have your product image in the hero section. But on a mobile device, the product image may pull the call to action, push the call to action under the fold. So if I'm trying to get you to register for a webinar on the mobile device, I might remove the product image, right? Or I might remove the picture of me pointing to the call to action because it's pushing the registration form under the fold. So these are some of the things that you want to know when you optimize for mobile. Last 2 bullet points. Options to build, visual privacy policy in terms of service. We spoke about that as well before. So, always make sure that, for your Facebook ads, especially Google ads and everything like that, that you have an actual privacy policy that in terms of service that's going to make, otherwise your ads are going to get kicked and you don't want to start you don't want to look like a newbie because you didn't have terms of service on your pages. And you can get in trouble by not having proper terms of service. So now we're going to go to the Q&A portion here. And I'm going to let you know we are now 2 hours and 20 minutes into this presentation.
Want me to read some question, Mike?
I got them right here.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, you got them there too?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, question from Katarina Thomas. Question is, will or does Grooves Pages support dynamic keyword insertion? I don't know if Deb is still here. Deb, one of the things I'm just going to say here, all of any questions moving forward for the next couple of weeks that we're doing this, we're gonna since these things are evergreen. Okay.
Yep.
Since and again, I know you're not sure. Maybe this does apply. Maybe this question does apply. Maybe I'm not exactly sure even what they mean. But as opposed to doing our normal live webinars, I want to keep these modules completely focused to something that's timely than saying, oh, that's going to be coming out in a month. So I'll probably be taking anything that's not out of context here and asking those people to go to the open door sessions that David has so that we could keep these modules focused. Because if people are watching this in 2 years, I want to avoid saying, yeah, I think that's coming next month or something along those lines. But since we read that one, will or does Groove Pages support dynamic keyword insertion? Okay, so I think I know what that question is, and that probably may apply here to a landing page strategy. And so what they're saying is they want to be able to have something that they put in the URL from an ad. That the reason why this question is probably the first one is you might be able to say, are you a, and then I put in the URL, college student.
Oh, dynamic. Yeah, right. That is so good.
Or, a retiree, and then the ads can do that. No, our pages don't do that. It's probably going to be a while until we have that. What you would need to do is simply take the Groove page. You could publish it to a PHP page or have a PHP page that pulls the Groove page URL and re-renders it as PHP. So you might have yoursite.com/startingnow.html, and then you create a page called startingnow.php that reads that page, and then you get your developer basically to take anything in there that's a tag, and you would create a tag on the page that would say occupation or type of person, and then when you see it question mark
tag in the URL, yeah, right,
it'll fill it in. 90% of you, 99% of you going, what is he talking about? And then you would have a default that if there's not anything in the URL, it just puts in looking to retire, something along those lines. All right. Next question here. Okay. Katarina Thomas says, will GrooveFunnels monitor and display the best performing templates like other funnel providers? Yeah, we're already gathering that data. And just like we did in my previous company with Webinar Jam and EverWebinar, we started to find out what were the conversion rates of different templates. And we're certainly going to be doing that as well. It's not quite as easy as Webinar Jam and EverWebinar did because they had fixed templates that you couldn't modify. And if you looked at lead pages, you couldn't modify those templates like ClickFunnels and GrooveFunnels allows you to do. So it's easier to know that a fixed template that you couldn't modify is just insert headline, insert subheadline, insert bullets. With GrooveFunnels, once you take your template, we can modify the image, modify the image, the headline, but change the background color, add new blocks. So it's going to be a lot more subjective whether or not this particular page works better because somebody did some miraculous work to it and is getting 1 million views, and it might show up as the highest converting, where it's not necessarily the template, it's the work they did to the template. All right. Next question. Does Groove have built-in split testing capability? Built-in split testing capability is scheduled for this year. And there's going to be basically, just like ClickFunnels does it, you're going to be able to take a current page and ask, do you want to split test an element on the page? And you only do one. And then you will split test a headline or an element or with or without a countdown timer. Or we're going to allow you to split test a completely different page. You'll start with a new template, which is what I said you should do at the beginning. Start with one template over another. You'll send traffic to the same URL, and it will rotate those different pages and give you data. I'm going to tell you up front, whether it's ClickFunnels, lead pages, or GrooveFunnels, in my opinion, split testing is an extreme, super, uber professional thing that will have a massive impact on your business that you might be willing to spend $97 a month, because when you're actually testing, this will change, give you a return on investment of thousands of dollars per month. Even when GrooveFunnels comes out with split testing, we are still going to use Visual Website Optimizer. That is an incredible platform beyond the scope of anything we'll ever do in GrooveFunnels. 1,000x beyond what you can do with ClickFunnels and lead pages or any other platform. A professional premium platform for split testing is what I recommend. Again, you might use GrooveFunnels to, hey, let me just split test this landing page versus this landing page. But when you get into optimization, it's called multivariate split testing. You want to be able to do different background colors, different text in the button, different button color, different headline against a different subheadline, different pictures with and without the picture, video on the left, video on the right, and ClickFunnels or anything else is going to have you basically create 700 pages for what I just said. Multivariate testing is something that you simply go into Visual Website Optimizer. They say, put this code on your page. It's awesome. And then it takes the live page off of the internet that you have. Yeah. And then you edit the headline variations inside, add another headline. And you're literally using almost like Groove pages. You're adding the headlines in there, new subheadlines, change this button color to red. And Visual Website Optimizer is just going through all these variants, and it's telling you that the red button is doing better than the blue. This headline is doing better. And then at the end, you could start saying, okay, more of this headline, more of the blue button, more of this button in the text, add the countdown timer here, the picture of Mike in the tuxedo instead of the cat, video hero instead of video to the left. All of that stuff, folks, it's looking at it's looking at a lot of stuff like hidden map too, and where your mouse is moving and where I think your eyes is moving. It's very, very interesting science. So we recommend Visual Website Optimizer. But yes, we will have the basic split this headline against this headline, split this landing page against this landing page. Next, thanks, Mike, for that whiteboard walkthrough. Sandeep Argwal, appreciate this. Master Pro Mike doing the whiteboards, triple smiley face. Mark Lafreniere asks, what do you use to split test your pages? Well, there we go, right? Just answered that, right? Edward Barron says, how do you test? So I'm going to go over to the whiteboard and make make Sandeep Agarwal happy. And we're going to talk about what a split test is.
Man, my legs are killing me. Okay, let's clean this up here. In split tests, we have two different types of tests. We have what's known as the A-B split test. I'm going to put that over here. Yep, we're good. The A-B split test. And over here, we have what's known as the multivariant split test. Okay, multivariant split test. Stay away from this. Stay the hell away from that. That is known as optimizing a page after you have what? Declared a winning offer. Okay, this over here is where you have a page, as I just described, like this, and I am testing what type of pop-ups are working. The headline that's here, I'm testing the headline. I'm testing the color of the headline. What's better, the black, the blue, or the red? I'm testing the font of the headline, because I heard maybe impact is better than this, or the thin, or the thick. Then I'm going to test the subheadline. I'm going to test the 9-minute video versus the 19-minute video. Okay. There's a picture over here of the product. There's maybe a picture of me. Is it me with the cat? And I'm going to test the call to action button, the color, and the text. There's a big image over here, right? It's either a woman jumping for joy, or it's a man on a sailboat. All these different things are called multivariate testing. We never, ever do this because, whoops, it might be lipstick on a pig, right? We never do multivariate testing until we found out that we at least are at a break-even rate, and everything, all these other different things that we tried have failed. Okay, now, this is perfect for VWO, right? Visual Website Optimizer. Does this better than anybody else in the world. Okay, now before we get to the multivariate testing, we want to do A-B split tests, okay? A-B, the terms in A and B is A is known as the control, okay? And B is known as the test. So when we first start out, we don't have any winner. So our first idea in the conference room, what do you think is best? We're going to go out with this report on this template, everybody good? And we say, yes, we establish that as our control, and that is the A. Our goal is to test B against A. Test B against the control. So over here, I want to, right from the beginning, with an A-B, okay, with a multivariate test, you need a lot of traffic. And hopefully this is for an opt-in. If you're multivariate testing for a buy, for a $9.97 product that you're making $5 a month, it would take you 100 years to be able to find out what's working in a multivariate. Multivariate testing is going to do much better on something like a registration page or a webinar page where you're getting a goal, compliance. The call to action success is a registration, or they opted in. That's the goal. They gave you their email address. That's great. What you learn on landing pages, remember, every time you have a winner, you put that into a swipe file, you hypothesize, why did that win, so that you could later take that over to your sales pages. Because doing a multivariate on a sales page, to get all this data is going to be tough. All right. So over on the A/B split test, I don't want to be testing too many of these things at the same time. I want to be doing A versus B. So now I'm trying this template that has the big video, right, with a call to action button, 3 tiles, right, a testimonial, and another call to action. That's it. Right over here, I am testing a much longer page. It's copy rich. There's no video. And I'm just making an example. And we have a picture of me or Matt and dear friend, and we have long Frank Kern style copy. That is an A/B test. What I'm looking for, if I'm trying to get an opt-in, is I'm trying to see, did this one give me a 14% conversion and this gave me a 38% conversion? Okay, that's all I need to know. The test didn't work. The test did not work. So now I'm going to do another test where I say, okay, let's do this same page here with short copy, but no video. Now, it's the same thing. It's just a headline, a call to action, the 3 little feature boxes, and another call to action. Oh, my goodness, look at that. This has a 48% conversion. Well, what just happened is 48% conversion. We move this over to here. And we now have a new control. Our goal is to find a different template or offer with video, without video. That is the new control. After doing this several different times, we get to the point where we're like, we can't beat this anymore by doing a major change, by doing an A/B test. We can't mix it up completely with a completely different video. So what we now do is we go from the A/B split test mode and we say, I'm pretty happy with this. We're making money. For every dollar we're spending, we're making $1.80 in profit for every dollar that we're spending. So we're profiting 80 cents, right? For every dollar that we're spending. At this point, we take this page and we bring it over here, and now we start doing multivariate testing. I now start testing the headline, the subheadline, autoplay video with silence, autoplay splash page on the video, the button color, what images go here, do I rotate, do I try it without the images, right? This is a multivariate test. I hope that this made sense for you today, that you finally say, you know what, I have a better understanding for split testing, as opposed to just starting with a page that isn't working and saying, I think I'm going to test the headline. No, that's lipstick on a pig. You got a 13% opt-in rate. Change the whole thing up. Try a whole new template, a whole new approach, a whole new offer, all that stuff. I'm going to head back over
one thing
here.
that I think is worth mentioning, Mike, is oftentimes people do A/B testing with few data, right? I got 4 visitors, and so make sure your sample of data is great, right? You don't want to do A/B testing over 20 visits, right? You need a good sample of data to make those decisions, right?
Yeah, that's a question that somebody has here. So I'm going to go back to the board. And the question is, Edward Barron says, how long do you test?
And on your walk there, Mike, I just want to let you know people are loving this. Jason McNaya says, tons of actionable content. Thank you. Someone else on Facebook. Are you doing the floss
I'm
right
trying.
there?
I don't know how to do it.
That's great.
Is that it?
Someone else says this is gold.
Backpack
Everybody
day.
started
Yeah.
implementing
All
some
right.
of this within the last few days. So thank you.
I'm so glad they're loving it. And folks, let us know in the comments what you think about having a whiteboard that's constantly plugged into the studio so that we could get out any single time. And if you can, I know you haven't seen it yet, but we also have different ways to do it. We can do it with an iPad Pro where you're just gonna see things showing up on the screen. You're not gonna see my hand moving. And the other option is right on the desk. We have this basically peel and stick whiteboard that we put on the desk, and we could take the markers and I could stay at my desk and I could write. You'll see an overhead camera basically of my hand writing, just my hand, but you won't see me talking. So tell me what you think, in your opinion, what's best. You love the whiteboard where you can see me interact. I'm talking to you. You can still hear me as I'm talking. Bigger workspace, or you think it might be better if I stay at the station and I do a whiteboard on the desk, classroom style on the desk. Or do you think the iPad Pro would be good? Would love a little survey. We kind of, I don't want to tell you what we think is best, but we're doing it right now. All right, so how long do you test? Well, there's something in split testing called confidence, right? But as I'm doing my A/B split test, I'm going to talk about what confidence is. But I'm here to tell you that I'm pretty quick to throw out the losers really, really quick. If I'm testing and I don't have the proper confidence, going to talk about what it is in a minute, and the B test is still losing, but it says, hey, we need another 3 days. I might just say, that's okay. It's losing anyway, and if anything, it's only going to get close to or slightly better than this. I'm going to stay with my control, and I want to try a whole new test. I want to have a massive breakthrough. I want to go from 18% to 25%, then from 25% to 30%. And then once I get to that point where I really can't move anymore, I'm going to go to here. So I'm going to wipe this board out. And I'm going to explain to you how long you test. So there's something in split testing called a goal. The goal is either an opt-in or, sometimes it's like clicking a button, but for the most part, a goal is either opt-in or register for the webinar. Basically, they gave you their name and email address, or they purchased. Now, they either purchased oh, wow, over here, I'm already out of the camera. That's good to know. Or they purchased the product or the upsell or whatever the case is. So in testing or in math, there's something called the confidence rate. It's based on probabilities. So if I were to tell you that I flipped a coin, right, 100 times, and it showed up 51% of the times for heads and 49% of the times for tails. I don't need you to write in the chat, but I think we all know. If I asked you, do you think that this coin is skewed towards heads? Many of you are going to say, no, that's just random. We don't have enough data to figure out whether or not this coin has a favor to heads. Okay, so now we do it 1,000 times, and now it's at 51.2. All right, we're getting a little bit. Now, there's actually websites where you can put this in, and you could actually see, they would tell you that you would need to flip this coin 4 billion times for it to have a 100% confidence rate to tell you that this isn't just random. Statistically significant, right? Yes. So we argue about this in the company. I like to run through split tests, set the confidence to 75% or 80%. Now, what that means is I'm going to get a winner quicker. But at 80%, that means, I'm going to make up an example here. We had 20,000 visitors to the website. Out of those 20,000 visitors, let's say 5,000 people opted in, gave us their name and email, right? Okay, Now, we tested those pages, and we could set those pages to be 50-50 or 75%, but it doesn't matter. All the data is still the same. So page A, now I don't know if this math works out, but just bear with me. Page A has 2,750 opt-ins, and page B has 2,250 opt-ins. Now, you may say, well, it seems like A is the winner. Now, I don't know this because I'd have to put the numbers in, and there's sites that do this. This confidence rate may basically be, just bear with me because I'm not doing real math here right now. This confidence rate may be 60%. What the confidence rate is telling us is, hey, you're really nothing more than a flip of a coin here. You're going to flip a coin, and sometimes you're going to get 66 tails, 6 heads and 4 tails. And that may translate later to 600 heads and 400 tails. Now, as you start going 6,000 heads and 4,000 tails, well, this confidence start might getting around 80%. But even at 80%, what it's saying is, hey, if you let this thing go for longer, you may find out that it's just bad luck. We're just getting more people going here.
Yeah, so the more data, so closer you are to that, a significant change. But also the variation between the two. If A was 100%, right, 2,750 opt-ins, and B was 5,
yeah,
then you don't need to get 20,000 points of data to get that.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if Donna is here. If she is, she can pop in. I believe that I'm comfortable around 75 to 80, and Donna shrugs at 75 to 80, and here she is. She can tell me if I'm right. Donna, we had a conversation about this. I was like, what's the confidence? And you were like, we're at 81. And I was like, oh, make it a winner. And you said to me, so I'll let you tell where you're comfortable. Oh, we don't hear you.
You're muted, Donna. Sorry.
Got it. And I don't have my groove light on because I wasn't planning on going live. There we go. So, I prefer a higher confidence, but it really depends. So 80% confidence with 1,000 visitors is not going to make me happy. 80% confidence with 100,000 visitors is going to make me happy. So that is also a big part of it. It's not only just the confidence level, but just how much traffic we've sent to a test. I think also on this note, one of the things I want to point out is very often when you start a split test, your numbers are very far apart and then they revert back to normal. So this used to drive me crazy working with some other people who would see a split test and want to make a decision that day based on a headline and declare a winner. You can't make a decision too quickly. You might wind up hurting yourself. So even though something is getting a 5% versus a 10% conversion rate on the first 100 or 1,000 visitors, that's not enough information. And
that's like flipping a coin and getting 7 heads out of and 3 tails and be like, yeah, this is my lucky coin for heads. It's like, don't make that decision right yet. Like we don't know. And you see that people with roulette tables, and it's like, 19 came out black and red 3 times. Right? The red is hot on this table. Like all of that is like a joke. So so basically, like, to find out if a roulette table is like they need like a year of data to find out if the table is leaning more towards 19. They need so much data to learn that. So
and split testing is no different, Mike. I think the thing that most people do wrong about split testing is it's so exciting. It's actually fun. It's fun and it's exciting to see, this one's winning, or my headline beat your headline. So there's a lot of fun that goes into split testing, but people end them too quickly. And it's because of that fun. They're ready to get on and try the next one. And when you start talking about things like multivariate testing, that's a split test you want to run for months.
Oh, that runs forever. Yeah, that other stuff we were talking about. Yeah. You see, that's what we were saying. Get out here early, get rid of the dogs, find out what's working. Once you've got something you're happy with, you're going into this optimization mode, and you come back every month and you say, okay, it looks like the blue button is working better than the green, but not as good as the red, all that time. So let's just do blue and red now. Let's get rid of the green. And you're slowly bringing that page from 40% to 43%, because it's getting near impossible to get to 100%. You're gonna reach a peak there. So the thing is that very early on, if there's not enough data, you will never ever. It is literally impossible to get to 100%. Any good software is going to tell you that it's statistically impossible with this few things for me to give you this high of a confidence. So what Donna is saying is that stay away from numbers like 75 and 80% early. Like if you want to make a split test very, very soon, within 3 or 4 days, then that software better need to tell you 97, 98, or 99. And usually it won't. Usually it cannot physically give you that much confidence unless there's a lot of data. So more time, you could get a little bit closer. Not more time, more impressions. You can go to 80%. But like Donna said, you need a lot of data. So the question is not how long do you test? It's at what point do you have confidence in a test? So what I would recommend you do, because it's slightly beyond the scope of this, is I would tell you to Google, how long should I do a split test, and just put the word confidence in there. How much confidence should I have before I end the split test? And then let's go over to the table here, and let's see if I can get lucky and find.
Now Visual Website Optimizer already does this, but let's just do a Google search here for split test confidence calculator. Now, oh yeah, you can share my screen. So neilpatel.com has, I did split test significance calculator. It suggested that to me. And the very first one is neilpatel.com AB split test calculator. So this is just all subjective. And once we get here, it should ask us, okay, so
first thing is the size of the sample.
Yeah.
Right?
How many number of visitors? Let's always keep that the same, right? So I'm going to put, let's just put 100, right? On each. So we have 200 visitors, 100 visitors to one page, 100 visitors to the other. The number of overall conversions. And now, remember, getting opt-ins is going to be so much easier than sales, right? Getting 90 sales could take a month. Getting 90 opt-ins, you can ask a friend to send you an email and you can get that in 3 hours, right? So how many conversions did I get with 100? I got 5 conversions, so that's a 5% conversion rate. And over here, I'm going to be 4. I'm making it no way do you have enough data right here. All right. So your test results, test A converted better than test B. I am not, what?
4, change to 4 on the second one. You got away from me.
There we go. Okay. Test A converted 25% better than test B. I am 64% certain that the changes in test A will improve your conversion. 64 on a low sample rate like this, no way would I ever allow that test to go. And folks, that's why I'm telling you, don't really test the purchases quite as much as you're testing your landing pages. Learn from your landing pages and put those hunches into your sales pages. Us with a $1,397 offer, multivariant, it's going to take us a year to get pretty significant.
So do me a favor. Can we change those two numbers from 100 to 10,000 visits? And
so let's see. Let's add a 0 to each one of these. 1,000 visitors, 50 sales to 40 sales.
Now the confidence should start going up already.
Okay. Okay, look at that. The same percentages, right?
You got a bigger
but now
sample.
we flipped the coin a lot more and we're leaning more towards one. So now we're at 86%. Now, I can tell you right now for what Donna just said, 1,000 visitors is not enough for her. Let's go and see what happens when we go to 10,000 visitors with 500. It's still the same percentage. 10,000 visitors and 400, still a 5% and a 4% conversion rate. Oh, look at that. Test A converts 25% better than test B. I'm 100% certain that the change in test A will improve. Now, let's change this to 450. You're still, you're 96%. I would have changed this much sooner. Let's do 475. You're 80%. Let's maybe get some more visitors here. So now we got to go to 20,000 and 1,000.
No, it will
I'm just
take
doubling.
that. Yeah.
And now I have to go to 20,000 and I got to go to 950. I'm doubling both. This is really 4 point something conversion, but here test A is 88%. So
because your sample is so much bigger. Yeah.
So basically what we're telling you is get a decent amount of data and be over 85%. And you're really going to hardly ever get hurt. If you have a decent amount of data and you're at 80%, you're being a little bit of a cowboy. You're generally not going to hurt yourself, but you're not really getting the best winners. You might have picked a loser, but something that didn't make any significant difference. All right. So there you go. We're going to go back, check to see if there's any more questions. We'll go back to the slide, back onto me and Matt there. All right. Just four more questions. When the prospect is going to buy via Tripwire offer on a webinar, et cetera, are they being referred to your website where they buy, or does the landing page have its own shopping cart? Okay. So, GrooveSell is a shopping cart. Infusionsoft, Samcart, Pay Kickstart, GrooveCart. These are, we have a dog barking. These are all shopping carts, right? PayPal is also a shopping cart. So basically, what you're going to be doing is always sending somebody to your website, to an opt-in page, get the lead, immediately send them over to a Tripwire page where you're going to make an incredible value sale for something very affordable, like $97, like $7 for a $97 value product. And at that point, we recommend embedding the checkout directly onto the page when they're ready to buy. But you can send them to GrooveSell's checkout page or to a hosted page by Infusionsoft, which just simply means you didn't embed it onto your page. Or sometimes you send them off the page over to PayPal, they log in, they pay, and then they end up back on your page.
All of these methods have an effect on your conversion rate, right?
Yeah.
Like sending to PayPal is probably one of the biggest conversion killer you can have, and so on. So
yeah, we want to
afraid to test.
Yeah, we want to keep you. Now PayPal's doing this thing where sometimes they'll allow you to have the modal pop up. They just log in, it does its thing, and then you stay right on the page. We also are big fans of multi-step checkout, which basically means the first part of the checkout just asks for their name, their email address, or first name, last name, and email. Then step 2 will ask for their address. Step 3 will ask for the credit card. It's a little less intimidating. And we tested these things and it worked a little bit better for us. Most people will recommend it because step 1, start your checkout process, name and email address. If they abandon,
you get the information.
You immediately get the information. You know something that we should do? Tell me if this technology exists. I believe it does. Maybe we can do something in the checkout process, even in the full checkout process. When they enter their first name, their last name, their email, we use JavaScript or Ajax.
We do it. We do it on GrooveCart.
We collect their email address. By the time they hit the tab button and move out, so remind me to make sure that I tell Anurup to put that.
Yeah, that's why in GrooveCart we ask for the email first, because after all, that's the most valuable piece of information after a sale. As soon as you enter your email, if you tab over, we have the data.
Yeah, but you said after a sale. I'm saying like
no, even prior to a sale. So you go to your checkout page.
Yeah.
It says email address. You put Mike and Mike.com. That's it. It's captured in our database.
And then we can use that for cart abandon. Okay. And list building. All right. John Workman, obviously testing is a big component of online marketing. Is there going to be some type of training on mechanics on split testing?
I thought that was pretty good.
I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good there. I hope, Chelsea, can you let us know if that answered your, John Workman, let us know if that kind of answered your question there.
And Mike, that was a while ago. So yeah, I'm sure it did. Yeah.
So last 2 questions, Wolfgang, WFG, will A/B split testing be, all right, we answered that question.
Yeah.
What is better in a landing page, a short or a long story for better conversions? I think the last 15 minutes gives us the answer to that. Test it. We don't know.
And Mike, these were all like maybe 30 minutes ago. So yeah, everything you did on the whiteboard. And by the way, the feedback, Christine Case loves let me just scroll all the way down here. I saw a bunch of comments coming in. They love the whiteboard. Eduardo says it's a nice option, the whiteboard, to explain it. He prefers the whiteboard other than an iPad. Katrina says, yep, whiteboard is good. Yeah, so everyone seems to like the whiteboard. Oh, here we go. Christine Case's comment, whiteboard, your eye contact, it feels like you're just talking to me.
I think, yeah, thanks, Christine. You're awesome. Great to see you again. Yeah, we have this peel and stick thing. We might just be taking it off. What we were going to do, we have an arm, as I said, that was going to go up, or we were going to hang it from the mounts here and just pointing down. And at any time, I was going to be able to draw what we did over there. But I think what people are saying is they like when you draw to be able to turn back around or talk while you're drawing and actually see that eye contact. So, so that's a permanent addition to the studio over there. We'll keep up. Nice. Whiteboard is very informative. Yeah. So, folks, that is all the questions. So this is when we love when you say, you guys are great. Coach Devin, Matt, and Mike, you guys are awesome. So let us know in the chat if you enjoyed this presentation. And my next session, we're going to take it to the next level, is going to be all about upsells, cross-sells, bumps, order bump hybrids, and downsells, and what are the proper price points and paths that you should use, what are related products, what makes a good upsell, a bad upsell, what's upsells hell, what you put in your no thanks link, how you map these things out, and what are the fundamentals of an upsell page, like countdown timers, breadcrumbs, not closing the buying loop by saying thank you for your purchase, all of these different things, how to do a no thanks link, all that stuff is going to be coming up in my next presentation, same bat time next Wednesday, I believe, but check your local listings.
Yep. It's next Wednesday, same bat channel, same bat time.
All right.
And they are loving it.
Appreciate it. It says thank you very much, Jason McNair. Thank you. You are all great. We appreciate it, everybody. Katarina Thomas, thanks, Mike and Matt. Great presentation.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Until next time. Go get some rest, get some food, eat. My voice is gone. All right, everybody. Take care.
Bye.